everybody. Welcome to the Lady Luck Club. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for being here on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. I must apologize for my lateness here. It is all my fault. Uncle Mo was on time. I am running a bit behind, but we're here. And I want to thank you all so much for your patience. Apologies to all of you out there that were waiting. It is 5:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are about to get started. Let's get some music in. Shout out to all of you as you guys are coming in. Make sure you're hitting that like button and then drop a heart in the chat when you have hit that like button because we are here for it. So the Danza Project did a full interview or whatever you want to call it, because I call it a softball nonsense, with Umar Johnson, the Oompa Loompa. And it was a total of 3 hours long. So we have the full interview video that we're going to be checking out. And let me tell you all something. We've seen parts of it. I know I've reacted to at least part 1 or 2. I've been on a panel with my brother Jay Witt. And was it Raw G? The Lounge. We had a great time. And we covered, I think, parts 3, maybe 4. But then parts 5 and 6 dropped after that because the Danza Project wants to leave everyone in suspense for no reason. So here we are. And we're going to check out the full interview. So what we'll do is watch the interview, laugh, as always, because I can't take Umar seriously. And we'll pause and have some dialogue. And you guys feel free to chat in the comments section. Engage. Everybody speak to everybody. Shout out to Uncle Mo, who's here with us. And we're going to bring him up now so he can say what's up to everybody in the LLC.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Uncle Mo?
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being on. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I was just saying I ain't go live in a long time. So I was happy you invited me up.
Yes, it's an honor, honey. Yeah, it is an absolute honor. You guys, shout out to Uncle Mo TV for going to the FDMG school twice. I mean, he did it twice, people. Can we give him some hearts in the chat for enduring that trip up to FDMG? Then can I ask one question? Were there any dead bodies around the buildings?
No, there's a lot of dead like animals and stuff though.
Oh my god.
It was parts that I thought I was recording because I bought my camera that I stream on. So it wasn't set for like the light. So I had to switch cameras. But it was worse than I thought it was. Some parts was better than I thought, but I could tell it's just the aesthetics for the outside. That's why he put that fence around so people can't walk around it.
Wow. And is that fence, is it around just one school or both buildings?
It's only around the one that's all painted up.
Oh.
It's like trash and stuff. You can see there's no dumpsters over there. So you know he's not paying for sanitation or anything.
Wow. And then the city is not picking up trash around? There's no.
But where it's located at too, when he said people was breaking in, I don't believe that shit. Because it's no real reason to really walk past there.
Okay. So there was nothing for like a Herbie Kirby or dumpster for the city to pick up any trash at all?
No, you know, like how commercial buildings that have the dumpster where like the forklifts can like snip in and pick it up. Nah, it was no trash cans at all.
So just trash all over the ground.
Yeah.
God. And then, you know, of course, I think my burning issue, of course, besides the mold, you know, is the windows. You went up to the windows. They look like mirrors. You couldn't see a thing on the inside.
They super tinted. You see yourself. Like I never seen like mirrors that tinted. And I work in government buildings and our windows is not even like that.
Right. I mean, have you ever seen a school with double-sided windows like that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hey, we just, you know, things we want to all make sure we're all on one accord with, that just logically speaking, you don't expect to see, you know, what looks like two-way mirrors on a school building. I think it would be so distressful to the kids in the school. And mind you, this is supposed to be a school for all black boys, right?
Yeah. And you know what else too? On the side of the building, he don't even have like, he got like store gates on the windows.
What?
Like if it's the purge where they closing down the windows so that you can't break them, he got like store gates on it.
And this is the newer school building, right? Because the
Yeah,
other ones look like it boarded up with fake wood or something.
yeah. The one across the street looked like a haunted house. Like if he
Oh
want
my
to make money
God.
for the school, this month would have been the best month for him to just open it up as a haunted house. Like it
He,
looks like a haunted house.
you would have to wear a body suit, a mask, and a hazmat, and go in there because the mold. And let's talk about the
Hmm.
smell. Was there any smells emanating out from the cracks of the buildings from when you
Nah, it
got up close
wasn't
to the
like the
windows,
smell
doors?
didn't sound and didn't smell too bad. But one thing
Mhm.
that I did notice, like I said, there was some like feces on the side of the building, and you could tell it was there for a while because it was starting to
Ooh,
mud, like moldy.
ooh, oh my God! They look like human feces.
Nah, it looked like his door. Like I seen people walking their dogs, like some older people, but I
Oh,
could probably count all the people that walked past there on one hand. It was probably like both days, maybe like 4 people.
wow!
That's why when he
Wow.
said they vandalized it, it's like first off, if they vandalized it, he should have insurance that would have covered it anyway.
Right,
And
right,
then it looked like it's only one way in that school and one way out. So he would have seen whoever went in there. He's stand right in
right,
front of it and do his little videos.
right. So there lies the question. He said something about human security. Do you think there was ever a time where he had actual human beings standing outside that building
Nah,
securing the building? What
nah.
about the cameras? Did they look functional? Did this camera
They did look
security cameras?
functional. It's a
Did
lot of cameras. It was like cameras on top of cameras.
so did you see any blinking lights
I
or
didn't notice that
anything
because it
with
was
movement?
daytime, but
Okay.
I was out there for like each time like an hour,
Wow.
and I was walking around because I thought somebody would pull up.
Man.
'Cause even when
And
I
it
went live, by the time I got to New York,
mhm.
one of my young brothers, they hit me up like, "You are tripping going up there." That was like some YN stuff going there and going live to show them you was there.
Wow. But see, here's the thing. It's not like people in that community are walking up to the school, filming it, taking pictures just to see what's happening, reporting anything from the school buildings themselves. So the people who have gone there are all, correct me if I'm wrong, between you, the Mademoiselle Famer Tube, you guys are all out of state, right?
Yeah,
I
like
think, yeah,
I'm
Famer Tube is
originally
in New
from New
York.
York, but I stay
Yeah.
in Virginia. I'm stationed, and I
Mhm.
drive back and forth all the time. And then
Okay.
I was in traffic right there. I was like, I'm gonna pull up because I'm tired of hearing him say these schools are state of the art.
Oh God. Yeah,
And
they
he don't got no goons either. I don't believe that either.
oh yeah, no. Yeah, I just, he has keyboard warriors and some
Hmm.
bots or somebody, that feel like they're being threatening online, but that's about it, and I think when Famer Tube went, there was a young lady that came out, took a picture of him, but it's like, why aren't you taking pictures of the school? Why
But
don't you just post up what's going on with the school?
I think I seen where he was at. If you come around that back way of the school,
Hmm.
it's another school over there. It looked like it's a daycare or something that's functional. And it's
Okay.
like a bunch of school, but and they be it's like they little lounges right outside. So they'll be out there. So they probably were just wondering what he was doing. Like
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think nobody cares about Umar over there.
Yeah. They probably barely know who he is. They don't, yeah.
You want-
He doesn't have the power influence he really thinks he has, and that's why I can't take him. I know he's not trying to open a school, but I can't take him seriously when he says that he has some community standing behind him. I highly doubt they will come out and try to protest and go to the sheriff's office or to the courthouse to do anything because he didn't pay the water bill.
no.
So,
And
um,
maybe like a half a mile away, it's a brand new school over there. That you could tell
really,
that school was built like from the ground up. Probably
wow,
it looked like it's less than 5 years old. Brand spanking new. Huge.
get out of here. Is it an elementary, middle, high school? Do you remember?
As big as it looked like it could be like a middle to high school, probably. But it was a
Wow.
nice school. And then maybe another couple of blocks over, it was another school over there. Like it's a couple of schools. When he talked like it ain't no schools around there, it's a couple of
Uh-huh.
schools. Like new
So there's
schools.
new schools popping around the area, and I'm sure, after the live, if you guys wanted to research, you can just put in the address to his school on a Google's Maps, and then expand it out, and you'll probably see the other schools in the area, and he, carries on as if no one's learning unless this school is open, sort of thing. So the arrogance of it all is baffling to me. But there you go. There's other schools around in the area, brand new, and the kids aren't really missing out on anything. FDMG is not going to open, and I've said that, and I'm gonna continue to say that. What do you think, Uncle Mo? Is it ever going to open?
I think it might open, but I don't think he's gonna be the one to do it.
Oh, okay.
I think he's gonna take the credit. I think somebody, because I got so many threats from people over me going there and hating that I've been coming at him. Wow. I could see some of these fools will help him. Like when I say open it, it probably failed within the first year. But I could see somebody having him open it up and then like he'll blame the city or YouTube on why it failed.
Wow. So they'll waste their money basically to open it up to try to prove a point, to us struggle streamers.
Yeah. For no reason. You could tell Umar's not an adult. You could tell the way he talks that he never paid any real bills on his own.
Oh yeah, that's obvious. I mean, does he live anywhere? He's not paying rent or mortgage anywhere.
Yeah, I think he's homeless.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Umar, you don't have your own car to even claim as your own. You certainly don't have a place to live, aside from your mother that you're harboring from everybody. So, it's easy to see that he's never really had any real responsibilities, and the way he's handled the bills and even, the writ of monitions, the issues that's going in the courts. I mean, the way he handles that is childlike. It's like an 18-year-old not knowing about life. And this is where he is at 51. And I just feel like this is where he's going to be, which that's one of the reasons why I say he's never going to open that school. He doesn't even have the responsibility or the immaturity to do so. So, the grifter's got to grift you, So what I want to do is give some shout outs to the comments. Thank you for tuning in. 7 Steel Story. And I do believe Uncle Mo is also streaming to his channel. He has a fantastic channel. If I can get one of the mods to drop the link to his YouTube channel in the chat, you guys can see. I can see his comments as well coming in from his channel. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Uncle Mo has over 550,000 supporters. How did you achieve that goal?
I'm glad you asked that. So, which I'm shadow banned on that channel. If you notice, I'm not monetized. But
what?
Yeah, I got shadow. So I started off talking about child support. And at first I couldn't find my niche. I was on deployment and I always said I wanted to do YouTube, knowing what I knew now, I should have been recording everything while I was out there. So I came back, I was doing like product reviews. I was terrible at recording. Then I just started talking about child support. Because I went, that's why when I hear Umar talk about it, I like went through everything with that with my oldest daughter. And that took off. Boom.
Wow.
And then, that took off. Like the child support thing took off. I was talking about it, telling people my experiences and stuff. And then I started reacting. I was reacting to a certain judge. I felt like me and her, she tried to like strike me. Then it was on something like, if you give me a certain amount of money, then we can work it out. And I wasn't feeling being friendly or started. So I just deleted all her content. Then she had me demonetized.
Wow.
Yeah, like we was going back and forth. Huh?
A judge.
Yeah, I think before she was a lawyer when she was doing her child support videos, but then she got put on to be a real judge. So from the people I know that's from her area, they were saying that she couldn't do those type of videos no more because the courts felt like it was kind of a mockery of the court system of her making those videos. So everybody who was reacting to her videos, she was trying to get percentage off of it.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and then she, a black judge too. She went on a crusade about it. Then I had all these women attacking me that I had to just switch it up.
So so you have that channel that's not monetized. What would it take for you to get monetized again?
Right now, see, this what YouTube don't tell you. When they demonetize you, they demonetize so many people that they never give you a clear-cut reason why they demonetize you. So say if you fight a strike and you and you win that for like fair use or something, let's say if they be like, oh, you had to reuse content, right? they don't tell you which reused.
Wow. So
So
you're just
then,
assuming whatever content is
yeah.
it could
So
be anything.
it could be anything. It could be a short. It could be anything. So I deleted like 700 videos.
Get out of
And
here.
then I was like disgruntled with it. And I made like a True Crimes channel and it was going kind of slow. And then my homeboy, I was helping on his, and he was like, "You might as well go back live again." And I was stationed in Florida doing training, and I just started going live again, and it started pushing up. But even speaking to Umar, I lost about altogether maybe 1,000 and some change.
Wow.
I lose like 20 subscribers a day.
You kidding?
That's how I know it's YouTube that's doing it. Because it's people that know me and they be like, "I didn't unsubscribe from you," and they show that they've been getting unsubscribed or they can't pick notifications.
Wow. Well,
but right now they say I can, if I apply, I should be able to, but I don't know what videos they deem.
Yeah, I would challenge them. I would ask them, listen, y'all have to give me the actual video with the timestamp, the content, whatever you're saying is somehow reuse content of some sort. Just give it to me so I can get rid of it or do what I need to do and get remonetized again, because you have great content you're putting out now. You're going to the schools, boots on the ground. That's the type of content that people need to see. I don't care about the Umar Tardians. They can throw up, tantrum until Jesus returns. I don't really care. So his YouTube channel is Uncle Mo TV. So I just want to make sure we get Uncle Mo TV's. If do I have them out here?
I'm about to do is delete every video and then reapply. And then before, when I came eligible, it was like, you don't have enough watch time.
Oh God.
Then I dropped the video. I got it now though.
Okay. Well, I mean, the newer stuff shouldn't be considered reuse unless you've gotten that notice recently. So I will look at the date of when you received that notification. Anything before that could probably be, possible as far as reuse. Anything after that, I wouldn't delete it. Because they can't send you something in and they don't have anything to utilize if you don't have the content up. So what it had to been before, for the content that you already had up until the day they sent the notification. Anything after that,
last year.
leave it. Oh yeah, you got a whole year worth of content. Leave that up, and just anything prior to the date of the notification, maybe that can be privatized or taken down. But yeah, I understand because I had to edit.
Pissed. I was pissed.
I feel you. I feel you.
Them checks was looking good.
With 550,000 plus supporters, I'm sure they would. You have more than I don't know. It looks like that King Kong Consciousness channel is Umar's, but
God humbled me because I was at work talking mad shit. They'd be like, "Chief, go do this." I'm not doing nothing.
Got my YouTube channel. What you talking about?
I showed my commanding officer, and I was like, "You see this?" He was like, "Damn, how could I get one?"
I know. Give me one. We're gonna get started on this. I want to shout out to all of you all for being here to Uncle Mo TV. What's up to Skeeter? Skeeter, one of my longtime supporters here in the LLC. Skeeter and Mark, we are here for it. Francisca Manzette, we're here for it. You guys, make sure you hit the like button. We're getting ready to get started. I don't want to hold you guys forever, but Uncle Mo TV said he's got time today, so we're gonna get into it. Dr. CB said, "Did you get sick from the mold?"
No, I wasn't that close.
So he seems to be in good shape, good go. And we're going to pull up the video here. Now, y'all see this Danza project guy here. It's something else. All right.
Hold on, I gotta take a phone call real quick.
No problem. And as he does that, you guys make sure you are hitting like button. Everybody speak to everybody. Engage in the chat. Feel free to ask questions. Shout out to all of you. Dr. Stevie said you're going to kidnap the kids and take them in the haunted building. Umar, you're not supposed to be around children. You shouldn't be around children. I wouldn't trust him nowhere near a child at this point. He's weird. It's just Umar just gets worse and worse and worse. And people keep giving him a platform. So that includes this Danza project here. I don't know why. Francisca said the Boys and Girls Club is next door, that if the bandos would have been flattened as if it would as it was meant to be would have been benefited from. Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club could have gotten an extra parking spot. I mean, and there are brand new schools in the area, as Uncle Mo pointed out that he's seen, and can be pulled up on a map too. So, you know, personally, I don't think it's ever going to happen. He's just going to keep grifting on it until the city says we've had enough. These buildings need to come down. You're not doing anything with them, or we need to sell it. But either way, you got to go, and that's pretty much going to be how that concludes. But that's my theory on that. Shout out to Brother Malik. Sunday shout out to our sister LLC, Uncle Mo, and the chat crew. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Miss Independent is up in here. And I don't know if I have a mic yet. So I want to try to get Uncle Mo TV YouTube channel link in so that you guys can check out his content and support his channel as well. Let me pull this up right quick. And it's Sunday evening, y'all. I that's why I said I thank God for all my for all of my mods, because it's one of those things where it's volunteer. So people's got things going on. That's why I don't let my mods get dogged out. And I look out for my mods because, man, it's a tireless job, especially when we're pumping out the content like we're doing. And we were live earlier with Nature Boy and this cult where he's now in prison for the rest of his life. Thank goodness. So we're gonna get to it. And here's the YouTube channel link for Uncle Mo TV. You guys, let's get to it. Z Stopper said the 209 mark in the interview is where Umar really starts feeling himself. Oh yeah. I think he was just feeling himself throughout this entire process because he has no kickback. There's no pushback. There's no real questions. Nothing challenging him at all. King Kong Consciousness is another creator, not Umar. What? He seemed to just be kind of all up his patootie. But I've been told that. So it's always, iffy when I do pull a video from there or I show a video from there. It's kind of hard to get credit because it's like, if this is Umar's channel, I'm not trying to really pat him on the back or anything. But, they just dropping in from LLC's channel. Thank you, Wolves of Black Wall Street, for tuning in. Let's go, y'all. Y'all ready? Hey, Black Anonymous. There you go. Shout out to my pod. Black Anonymous is up in here. Lene Stacks is up in here. What's going on, Lene? How you doing? Y'all show some love for Lene Stacks, who's been through it with Umar, the Oompa Loompa. Thank you so much for tuning in, Brother Malik. Everybody, love you all. Love you too as well. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's get to it. We'll let Uncle Mo chime in when he is done with his call. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a really special episode of the Danza Project, something that we've been trying to get going for some time. And like I have been more recently, I've been starting off my shows, seems like a lot with like apologies. As I've kind of been, I'm starting to settle in as a podcaster, as a media personality. And as people are starting to get to know me, I really want to let them know who I am and what I'm about. Now, I went into a wild phase of podcasting. And I had a wild guest that kind of kept us a little bit on edge a lot. And my loyalty has always been like, oh, I'm with you. And I tried to get you to sit down with this gentleman on the show. And everything went left for a little bit because it was like, oh, I'm going to make it happen and this and that. And I apologize for trying to force that issue and trying to make that happen because you clearly stated initially it's not something you were looking to do, and I shouldn't have been pushing it. And so for that, I would like to start this episode out with an apology.
No problem, bro. Appreciate it.
Wisdom. Growth. And Dr. Umar is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Now, what's going on, Kato? How you feeling, my brother?
Man, I'm riding on a high, man. Yeah. Came back with a vengeance. Last few episodes have just been crazy.
Absolutely.
Topping it off with this and more to come.
Yeah.
We on the road.
And this is one of them that I kind of been hiding when I speak to people. I'm like, oh, man, I'm telling you, we got a great episode. This episode is going to be phenomenal. So, again, my name is Danza.
Hey, yo, Kato.
And this is the Danza Project, and we have Dr. Umar. Now, before we get into any type of conversation, I want to know where you're at, because you're constantly working. Mm-hmm. And when I mean working, you're doing a lot more than most.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like,
yes,
it's
sir.
not just the conversations that you're having on podcasts. It's the works that you're doing in the communities.
Right.
The conversations that you're having with the youth and with people in general. Mm-hmm. Where are you at mentally right now? How do you feel?
I guess for me, the one thing that I just want to finalize is the renovations on the FDMG Academy. We've been almost done for so long, and now we're at the floors. But I'm still scared to say we done, because every time I say we done, something else comes up. So, I ain't been saying nothing. My thing is,
because nothing's done. So you all have seen the tours that have been done on the outside of the building. We all know about the black mold. We all know about a lot of the renovations that need to be done to the ramp, to the stairs, to the railings, the doors, the lights, and then of course there's some water damage, the vines, just inside of the building, it's even worse. I mean, there's missing ceiling tiles. He just got through scrubbing dookie out of toilets. Like, it is so much going on. There's no active permit on file. We have looked up the documentation, researched on the city's website, what's going on with the building regarding just through the permits, and no active permits. So when you have work being done, and Brother Malik came on last week and reiterated that if there's any work being done, you have a permit on file with the vendors or the contractors that are doing any work to those buildings. People can't even say that they're seeing vendors or contractors going in the buildings and doing any work, but they must have a permit. And I've gone through all the permits on the City of Wilmington's website. You're welcome. And nothing active or available. So they're all expired. And he won't even talk about the infamous fire. I had to do a little bit more research and digging with that. Shout out to all of you for the resources and for the links and the videos, because the fire was 5 years ago, and we still don't even know if it was 2 rooms or 4 rooms destroyed, the severity to which the fire damage was done, nothing. But yet and still, he keeps saying nothing needs to be done but floors, because reasons.
When it's done, that's when I'll announce it. You know what I mean? I was supposed to go back to the Breakfast Club, and I text Charlamagne. I said, I'm not coming back up there one more time to tell people we almost done. You feel me? Yeah. When we done, I'll schedule with you. I'm not going up to Power 105 again until we done. I'm tired of saying it myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when we done, that's when I'll do it, man. But we real close. When I fly back home tomorrow, I got to get to the school. They laying the floors now, and once that's done, we'll be applying for a certificate of occupancy. That's going to be interesting because the city has not been our friend. They tried to sell the school behind our back last month for some frivolous expenses that we should not have even owed. So I'm gonna stay positive. But I'm not looking forward to the inspection because they
said some expenses that they should not have even owed. It's the water and sewage. You owed that. Vacant property registration fees. You weren't eligible to get a waiver because you didn't do the documentation. The same reason why he ended up with a cease and desist order from the state of Pennsylvania, because he failed to turn in some documents to the bureaus that he was supposed to submit them to. See, when you're lazy and you can't even do the most minute, simple things, don't expect people to just give you a handout. They don't have to do any documents for you, Umar. That's not how the world works. Uncle Mo TV, let me know if you're good, if you're ready.
I'm almost done.
So when people say when you're going to actually
okay, cool beans.
Be done, that's not in our hands. We have to see what the city says, but I'm hoping after all we've been through, they just say, go ahead. If it's all in order, just passing, but that hasn't been the experience. Like everything we've been through with the city has been a fight, even to get a permit for the festival. They ain't want to give us that, so it's really been a tug of war with them. I'm just hoping that we don't have to have a protest. I'm hoping we don't have to take them to court for discrimination. I mean, the bureaucracy is mostly black. The mayor's white, but the bureaucracy is black, but discrimination is discrimination.
Yeah. Okay. So what would this statement of claim be like, Umar? You're going to take them to court for discrimination or what? Because you can't say race. If you're saying that there's some black people that work there and you can't prove how they actually discriminated against you because you are black, you will not have a case. You would just be filing another slap suit and you're going to piss off yet another judge. He's an idiot. We all know he doesn't know the law either. And if his attorneys are coinciding on this and supporting him in this nonsense, they could easily set themselves up to be sanctioned because judges don't like their time wasted with dumb lawsuits and frivolous lawsuits being filed in bad faith because you're throwing a tantrum. They don't care, Umar.
Even if you're the same color, so I'm just, I'm gonna just put it in the Lord's hands and see. But we're knocking on the finish line. So if all goes well, we should be able to apply for the inspection before the end of the year.
And this is something that most people don't understand in general. Just starting a business is tough, right? And then when you're doing something in the community, it's going to be a lot tougher. When you're dealing with that much square footage, they could find something wrong anywhere. Oh, well, in this corner here. But a lot of people that have never started a business, have never gotten any type of education, what it's like. They have
never
no idea.
opened a school, never ran a school, but they're experts in our school. And I don't get into it, but I hear a lot of it because my supporters send me the clips, and I've heard ridiculous things. I heard people say you can get an HVAC for $5,000. That's a $50,000 unit up there. And that was the cheap one. You feel me? This is not a house. This is a school. You're not getting no HVAC for no $5,000. You know what I mean? Every utility that we had repaired, plumbing, HVAC, electric, every one cost us well over $100,000. Nothing was under $100K for repair. So when I hear people say he could have got this done for $5,000, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother level. But my thing is, if you never did it, why are you speaking on it? And if you're not doing anything for the people, why are you speaking on it? See, that's my thing. I don't think people who don't do work could criticize people who do work. Now, if you're doing the work, you say, look, I built me a relevant institution. You can speak to it because you did. We're being questioned and criticized by people who do nothing. And that's why I'm so tight-lipped on it, because I'm like, I don't owe you no answers. On top.
So, Uncle Mo TV, what you think so far? He said he don't owe us no answers, because we do nothing. And he assumes no one does anything anyway. But you've gone to the school. What you think about what he said so far, especially with these floors and, the court systems and lawsuits?
I think he's just full of it, and he just say like word salad because he think it's still like 2000 when people ain't have computers and access to things that can tell. And like, he don't know what people are into. He don't know what, like I do volunteer work all the time. Like a lot of us do volunteer work. And then he got offered help from all these people and he didn't take it that actually built schools. Like
exactly.
He's a clown.
Oh yeah. And I mean, what's so crazy is, he knows that there are other people who have actually built schools. Let's take LeBron James, for instance. I actually did a video comparing, I Promise schools to FDMG. Grave difference. It's like night and day. You would think that you were on a whole nother planet looking at just a website for I Promise schools versus what you don't even see a website. There's no school website, people, for FDMG. Okay. Mm-hmm. Once again, there's no school website for FDMG. Last time for the Holy Ghost. FDMG does not have a school website. Okay. And I always ask this of the Umar Tardians that run around here talking about, y'all just struggle streamers. We're still waiting on the school website. Because you can't come to me with all that nonsense that the hive mentality. They just kind of copy, paste, and repeat on everybody's videos and still say nothing. Where's the school website? So when they can't even attach to a school website, Umar hasn't even taken the time to purchase a domain and to get someone to establish a website. How are you going to enroll the kids in the school again? Because I have to do it online. How do you enroll your kids for school?
They make you do it online.
Exactly.
You can't do, you got to do everything online. Even if, like I got to be to work early as hell. And my wife, she is a school teacher. Right. And that's another thing. He's not a certified school psychiatrist because you got to be in the field and you got to do follow-on training all the time. And he's not working in the field. So he probably was prior, but he's no longer because he ain't been active in years. And each state and each district do it different. So when he say certain stuff, it just don't add up because he's not in the field of work no more. Like so much things have changed from. Wow. He quotes a lot of old stuff from like the 80s and the 90s.
Right.
You know? Like I noticed when he said the whole that your kids act up, they put them in special ed. That was going on in like the 90s, but then they started coming out with I know in New York, what was it called? Alternative schools. Like if you was just bad, but you wasn't like had a disability, they put you in there. Right. Like I act up and they put me in there. I got arrested in school in high school. And this class they had it was where the teachers came to us. Like,
wow.
The teachers came. Serious? That was some prison to jail pipeline because they had us in the parking lot, fenced in trailers, a little guard booth, and the teachers came to us. They didn't even let us eat lunch in the school building. They told us to go home.
Oh no. Yeah. That is, man, you talk about some that has a serious effect on some kids here.
Yeah, and the crazy thing. How I mean, I wound up graduating with all these awards and stuff. But one of the teachers, dropped his wallet in class. And he, when I seen one of the kids grabbed it, I grabbed it. I ran behind him, gave it to him. He was like, "Oh, did you take my money?" So I looked at him. I'm like, "Teachers don't make no damn money. I ain't got to take your money." Like I'm pretty sure I got more money than you. like you ain't even checked my record while I'm in this class. I got more money than you, man. So he checked it, and I said, "If you ain't got your money, let me know. I'ma go in there and get it back."
Right.
He got it, and then after that, he looked like, "Why are you even in here?" I said, "If I got to be honest, I deserve to be in here for the things I did at the other school." And then he looked my record up, and he was like, "You should have graduated." Because he said, "All you need is 4 credits, and they're not even giving you the class." And he got me on the right path. That when he seen I knew all the work, he worked with me, and he kind of convinced me into going to the military years later. Because I seen how, because he was used to be in the Army, and I was in college, and college just was, I don't know. I did more partying in school.
Yeah,
that's all I did was party the whole time in college.
And see, that goes to show the positive influence and role model that you do expect from good teachers. You know, the ones that really truly care. Umar is not trying to even open a school when he can't even set up a website for people to enroll. How would he come up with money to pay teachers and staff? They might not get paid a lot of money, but what they do have is an outstanding retirement package. So how are you going to pay these teachers and staff? How are you going to take in applications? I mean, who's going to be on the HR department? Who's on your board? How are they going to manage the money coming in, even if you were to open it? See, those are the things that he can't answer, that Umar Tardians definitely can't answer. But when you ask about it, he doesn't want to answer. So that, to me, it's like you don't give me any, there's no assurance in thinking that he's even trying. And I'm, this is why I keep saying he's not going to open it. But I'm sitting here saying, even if someone were to open it, they haven't even put out a financial plan to show how teachers and staff are going to get paid. How you can't pay everybody out your PayPal account, but you don't have an FDMG bank account either. So
I think they want to give him donations. He went through to give him donations to teach at the school. Then you say don't put in an application if you didn't donate.
Oh wow. So he expects them. And I've said this before. I've heard him say, the volunteers after he said teachers. And I'm like, oh, so he expects these teachers to come in and volunteer and teach for free. That's what I'm thinking. Like he actually expects all these people involved to do this stuff for free, but then take it seriously as if they're being paid. Never mind, you can't feed your families with air. You need money to buy food, Umar. So, this is the first step is, that he has not conquered website. And that's once you something so simple. If you can't even do that, I can't take him seriously about opening a school until the most basic fundamental thing, creating a website, is done. And he's turned down, and shout out to Miss Independent said he turned down the opportunity to get a free website, just like he turns down the opportunity for any other free vendors and services that have been offered to him. Because
I take back my answer from earlier. He's not gonna open a school. I think somebody else is. I think I don't even think he really owned the school, to tell the truth.
No, he doesn't.
So when I was looking up the stuff for the deed, it said it deeded over for him for $10.
Yeah, no, he doesn't own it.
And I was wondering, like, that's kind of low. And then he just lied. He tell lies that makes no sense when he said they put 13 million into the school 9 years ago, but the school was only made like a million. That's like hustling backwards.
Yeah. So the finances of it can't be explained. And when you look at the taxes, that doesn't, even match up year after year. So when the money is not looking right, and then you can't explain for how he's spending the money he is receiving with these pyramid scheme contribution packages on his website, he doesn't even give an account for it. No one can get a tax statement. All these things, that financial plan is non-existent. So you have no way to even bring in staff, pay them, set up a salary, benefits, insurance. No website. How are you going to bus the kids? None of those questions will ever be answered because he's not even trying to put a plan together to do that. So,
you need a mentor. Like
he
even me,
needs
I got like in the military, we all got mentors. And
you would think, but he doesn't want that. Jamar, out his Lord Jamar, but I don't like calling him Lord. But Jamar tried to offer him some, hey, resources. There are some people I know. My father-in-law has a school. You
I
know,
went by his
there's some
school
people
too.
I can bring your way. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I used to pass it all the time to go see my family in East New York. I just didn't know that was like his school. Like he got a real school, a nice website. East New York is a wild area though, but it's it's a functioning school and everybody's there, and it been there for years. Like I've been seeing like at least the last 15 years. I just never paid no mind to it until I was looking over that interview.
And that's what Jamar said. Hey, I could get you some resources, some financial planners, some people in place to help you outline, you know, from contractors down to, you know, a business plan on how you're going to go about doing this. And he was like, I don't need any of that. We got everything. We got that, brother. All we need is the money. So this is what he said in an interview with Jamar. And he made it clear he doesn't need any help. He doesn't want any mentors. He doesn't want any you know, counselors, anyone that can give him some advice and, you know, just kind of surround himself with people who know what they're actually doing. Oh, he said he doesn't need any of that. He got all that. He just needs the money. So that there you go. It goes to show he's not trying to take any of this seriously because it takes more than money to get this school running. So we're gonna get back to it. Because I don't want to hold you all too long, but we're gonna have a good time with this, and I'm just gonna keep clowning up Danza Project.
For the fact you never donated. On top of the fact you never drove by there and picked up a piece of trash. You questioning something that you don't support financially. You questioning something that you've never been a part of in your entire life. You've never been a part of anything that progressive as building an institution. So why are you expecting me to be accountable to you?
And so how do you keep it together? Back to that mental health thing. Like how do you feel?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The haters, the struggle streamers, they really helped toughen me up to the criticism because we've been dealing with it from the first day we took a donation in St. Louis, Missouri, April of 2014, when the St. Paul's College in Virginia went up for sale, because that's what we wanted. We wanted that HBCU, but they wanted $2 million and we couldn't raise it in time, so they sold it to the Asians, who currently have it now. So then that's when we said, well, we just gonna find us a regular school. So from 2014 till 2019, we school hunted. We found FDMG in 2017, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So we just stayed in negotiations with the owners, and then finally, February 2019, they gave it to us. So 5 years to find a school, which in my opinion, that's not a long time. To raise the money and find it, 5 years ain't bad at all. And then you go from 19 to 25, right? So you're looking at 6 years of us renovating. It should have only taken us 2 or 3, but there was a lot of scamming going on with the contractors we were using. We really got done dirty by them. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to use Caucasian work because I wanted to keep the money in the community. The people who gave us the money black. I want to keep the project black. But I had to wake up one day and say, yo, if you waiting on your people to do this for you, it may not get done. And let me put that in context. You're talking about the second smallest state in the country, right? So you don't have much to pull from anyway. And then the city of Wilmington requires that your contractors be licensed in the state and licensed in the city. So for example, in Pennsylvania, if you're licensed by the Commonwealth, you can do work anywhere in the state. You got to be licensed in Delaware and then licensed again in Wilmington. You're already dealing with a small pool of available contractors. And then they add that on top. So I say it all the time. We have the best situation in the worst location. And when I say worst location, I'm simply speaking of the limited pool of resources in terms of contractors and the strict stipulations that are required for you to work on a project there. You know, if that same school was in Detroit, Chicago, Philly, we'd be done already, only because you got so many plumbers, you got so many HVAC, you got so many electric, you could go through 30 of them until you hit the right one. But you in the second smallest state, only a handful of black folks, you know what I mean? Contractors that you can really, you know, go to. And everybody we used came highly recommended, by the way. We didn't just grab people. These were people say, get him, get them. We got the people we were told to get, and they still didn't do it.
But when the pool is so small, when the competition is great and stuff, you know.
And we ran into situations where sometimes if I don't take the plumber, the electrician say I can't take the job. You feel me? Because that's my man. So since you're not taking him, I can't do it. I'm like, damn, what they got to do with you? I need this, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of that where I like the electrician, don't like the plumber. I like the HVAC guy, don't like the electrician. So, you know, it's networks. You know.
That's one of the biggest lies I heard in a while. He don't got a cafeteria? I don't know, man. That's one of the biggest lies I heard in a while because most contractors, if they license, they gotta have insurance and they gotta go get the permits and stuff from the city. So even if they scammed him, all he had to do was file a report with the Better Business Bureau.
Right. That's what
I get work done all the time.
That's why I was just like, he just said, if I don't like the plumber, I can't have the electricity. Like,
how do you even know them?
Exactly. So they come in pairs now. So 2 different vendors, 2 different trades. You could get one that's a plumber, electrician. They both coming in to do the work. But if you don't like one, you can't have the other because reasons. Even though they're of 2 different trades.
Nah, that's BS.
That makes sense to me.
Like my house, like I said, stuff break all the time. What? Like my AC went out last summer. Each company, they might have different, it's like different divisions. So even with stuff for the damage, they had somebody else come and you can pick and say, I don't feel comfortable with this person or I don't want this person out. So he's full of it.
Yes.
He ain't want to pay these people. People I know that reached out to him, he wanted them to do everything for free. The supplies, the work, everything.
But what's so crazy is there were vendors and contractors that actually reached out to him, emailed him, said, hey, if you get permits, we're willing to come up with a whole team, take 2 weeks. This one vendor had emailed them, showed the emails. I know he had submitted emails to Lynn and Honor. I think it was Information Man show and Brother Malik, correct me if I'm wrong. And the guy was going to take 2 weeks, his vacation time, to take some time out to go to the schools with a team to do free service. I think they were plumbers, either plumbers or electricians. They were going to come there and do free service. And he never, ever emailed the guy back. All he had to do was get a permit. And y'all have seen me go through all the permits where you have the permit prices ranging from $36, $45, $50 bucks, maybe $75. They're not that expensive. And if he's raised over $2 million, clearly he can get, the money up for the permit paid. But that's all he had to do. And they were going to come in. They weren't going to charge him. They weren't going to charge him for travel or gas or anything. And he never even emailed the guy about it. And I'm like, and he's trying to actually get in. He's actually trying to open a school here. But he's sitting here ignoring vendors and contractors that are willing to come in and do it for free. And that's another thing. How was he paying the tax firm? Because that would be a vendor, right? Yeah. I mean, you got somebody doing the taxes for FDMG, not his personal tax returns. The taxes for tax form 990. How are you paying that guy? Marvin Kincaid. How's he being paid? So things like that. He's the one picking the tax firm.
Mm-hmm. No he talk about Delaware like it's so tiny. Delaware, it's small compared to some state, but it's a big state. It ain't no tiny state. Like when I'm driving up there, it takes me like 3 hours to get through Delaware.
Exactly.
And then most contractors that's like on border towns like that is gonna be licensed in both spots. Like they'd be licensed in Pennsylvania and in Delaware, or they can do the work and then have somebody licensed just come inspect the work.
Oh, and the fact that he could literally, have even if he can only utilize, contractors and vendors in Wilmington, you could get some for dirt cheap, or this is what you're raising that money for. These contribution packages are for, and they're all over. There's a laundry list of contractors and vendors that are Black, African American contracts and vendors, since he only wants Black people doing something because he's so racist. But
he's not racist. I don't think he's racist. He's full of shit because he's put on a show because he tried to clean it up just now. You could steal from the Black community, but then go pay the white guy, right? And you try to cover up to about nobody wanted to do business with you. That's BS. Like he contradicts himself all the time because even with the whole his accounts is frozen and he was begging for money. Charlemagne's supposed to be your friend. He couldn't lend you no money.
Exactly.
And Charlemagne's married to an Asian girl.
Wow. But he never talks about that.
Never talks about that. He's married to an Asian shit.
You can't make this up.
Frederick Douglass is the biggest snow bunny hopper ever. His own daughter stopped talking to him because he married that white woman. But he always talked about the honorable this. And Marcus Garvey did good. He did more than him, but he scammed people with those ships too. He ain't never go to Africa.
Right. Yeah. Yep. See? And this is the con artistry of it all. It's like pick a storyline, dig in on it, and as long as it's somehow no trail, like there are documentation to prove he's not doing anything, but he doesn't have a paper trail for the finances. There's no paper trail for the progress of work being done. He barely gives a tour inside the school building. When is the last time has it been inspected? Just a full walkthrough inspection of everything that is wrong with those buildings. He has no paper trail with RFPs or contracts with these vendors or contractors. He has no paper trail in multiple areas. He doesn't even have any evidence to show he's trying to get a website. No paper trail in multiple areas. So no HR, no board of trustees, no finance, no nothing. So when it's so open-ended, it's so easy for him to continue on with this. The difference is that after 6.5 years of him just trying to, lie about opening a school in Wilmington, people are getting tired of it. So him going to clean the toilets, that was just for his base. He's throwing red meat at his base, at the Umar Tardians, to say, hey, I am doing something. Y'all don't let them think that I'm not doing something to try to open the school up. Look at me scrubbing shit out the toilets. That's throwing red meat at his base to try to get them invigorated. And now he's doing a tour on that one incident to try to make it seem like, oh, well, I'm working on the school, because he just got through scrubbing some toilets, even though he complained and whined and cried about it the whole time.
You seen that door?
Yeah, the door looks like it was blown off with a
yeah, like that door looked crazy. I was like, whoa. And then even with the floors, right? Listen to me. I almost fell through my ceiling fixing stuff myself, right?
Right.
He could lay. My uncle is old as hell. He turned 70 this year, right? Next month. Mm-hmm. He's a plumber. That's what the company that had me look into stuff. He built his house from scratch and got most of the material from Home Depot and through his contractor license. Him and all of his friends that do the different trades built that house. It only took him about 2 years with just paying as he went,
Wow.
And Umar, if he'd have had millions of dollars, it would have took less than 4 months to put up a house,
Exactly. It's like LeBron James built his schools and within 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. And he had, he has multiple locations, but he also had donors and sponsors. He was responsible with the tax statements. He files his taxes are very thorough. He has expenses listed. He has a whole board. He had a whole business plan, a financial plan, and of course, if you don't have that recurring money coming in, just like any other pyramid scheme, it collapses. Mm-hmm. So with, FDMG being the pyramid scheme that it is, it's like a collapsing pyramid scheme because the money is not flowing through. He needs fresh money to keep flowing through in order for the pyramid scheme to sustain. Otherwise, it will collapse. And that's what's happening. It's just real slow. So let's get back to it, you all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit that like button. We have 106 people watching. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Let's go.
You're dealing with a really small city, and you were outsider coming from Philly. I had to deal with some of that too. You know what I mean? Because even though I get a lot of love in Wilmington and a lot of love across Delaware, you still got them people say, we don't need them here. You know what I mean? We don't need no big city dude coming down here. We can handle our own business. But I'm not here for you. I'm here for the kids. You know what I mean? Because people say, why did you choose Wilmington? And I like Wilmington. I love the energy there. I really do. But people say, why did you choose Wilmington? I didn't choose Wilmington. I chose the school that was in Wilmington. In other words, we wasn't shopping for cities. We shopping for building. And that had the best building that we found. We should have been in Detroit. But once the Archdiocese found out who I was, they wouldn't sell me none of the schools. I knew we was in Detroit. Me and my mother was preparing to move to Detroit. I said, Mom, we going to Detroit. We out. It's going to be cold. She said, I don't care. Let's go. And then the Jewish realtor for the Archdiocese, and I thought that was interesting, that the Archdiocese had it, because if you understand that history, but he said, they want to see your curriculum. I said, we buying the school cash money. What you need to see my curriculum for? This ain't no charter school. You follow what I'm saying? This ain't no a lease.
Right.
I'm buying and we done. What you want to know what I'm teaching for? I said, you can't get that.
Do they think you're pushing religion? Is it a religious thing? Like, where's the pushback in that city?
I think it's just that they knew who I was and wasn't going to sell. And guess what? Every school in Detroit that we wanted, still sitting there. So that's why I tell people, you got to understand that when it comes to white people, they're more about power than money.
Yeah.
If they was about the money, they would have sold us the building. They all there. They was about the control. We don't want him teaching that. You feel me? We rather not make the money.
Detroit looks like Detroit.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, I learned so much in the school, hon. I remember I was going to lease a school in Mount Vernon, New York, Catholic school. And the supervisor said, I got to call the Vatican. I said, what? He said, I said, you got to call Rome? He said, I got to call Rome. I said, why you got to call Rome? He said, about half the Catholic schools in America are still managed directly from the Vatican. He had to call the Vatican and ask if he could lease the school to Dr. Umar. And of course, they said, hell no. Yeah. So, and he also told me that the Vatican is the second largest property owner either in the United States or in the world. I didn't know that. White boy was dropping all these jewels on me. He said, we own much property. I didn't know that either. So that's crazy. So when you hear about that, United States, London, Rome connect, that's real. Them 3 city states that don't answer to nobody, that's very real. That's very real.
It's very interesting how you mentioned about the contracting, right? Because people could say whatever the hell they want. When you go into that, it's tough. I got a lot of friends that are into real estate, and I'm from a city, Buffalo, New York. It's a very small city, similar to the way Detroit operates.
Yes, sir.
And they'll get contractors, they'll get it all set up, and the job is.
It's like the beginning of a bad joke. The Vatican, the U.S., and the Rome walked into a bar.
He told so many lies with that.
Exactly. Like what do you
I
mean?
Went to Catholic
Vatican?
School. Yeah, like I went to Catholic school. I've been in the Vatican. I was in the Vatican recent. Because I've been there multiple times, but my last time was when I figured out like where they said it's a different country because they tell us we can't ride those little them little scooters that be everywhere that you can jump on. So if you go outside the boundaries, they cut off. So one side of the street was Rome, one side was the Vatican, and we was riding on it, and it cut off, and a car hit me.
Oh,
and
wow.
it didn't hit me hard, like I seen it coming, so I tried to jump off, but it hit me enough to knock some sense into me. And the Vatican, first off, sad to say, like I said, I went to Catholic school growing up. They sold a lot of the property because they got sued so much because of those priests doing that funny business that he's lying about. They wouldn't sell it to him because they needed to sell off to pay these lawsuits.
Right.
Like even my old church that where I grew up at and the school that I went to is no longer there. They knocked the school down and built affordable housing. And it's the Harriet Tubman School now, the school that I graduated from, that I went from pre-K to 8th grade. And so he's lying with all that. And when you go to buy property, y'all don't negotiate between your realtor would talk to their realtor and put in an offer. And they either accept the offer or not. They're not doing no backgrounds besides you have the funding for it. And usually if you got a cash offer, you can negotiate better to say, all right, y'all want it for $2 million. I got 1.5. And being that it's cash, they might take it right there, or they might be like, take it without an inspection. Like, y'all negotiate what else you're going to put in. But he's lying through his teeth on it. And Mount Vernon, I'm from the Bronx. Mount Vernon is literally right there next to Mount Vernon is only like 4 square feet, man. It's not even that many schools up there anyway. It's only like one Catholic school there. And one high school, like maybe like 2. It's tiny. You could walk through the whole Mount Vernon in about 45 minutes.
Seriously. And he thinks that somehow the Vatican in Rome.
Yeah, and the Vatican don't give a damn about that shit. Like I said, when I was out there, one thing that shocked me about the Vatican is it's priests everywhere, every type of priest. And there ain't no Jews walking around there either. That's another thing where he said the Jewish that's a lie too.
What? Yes, Rome is Italian.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's like, what is he talking about? I'm not saying there are no Jewish people that are there, but
yeah, it's probably, but not like how he's saying they ain't controlling, man.
No, they're not.
I like Rome. I like Rome a lot. I stayed in Naples when I was there. I wish I'd have stayed in Rome because it's a city, but I like it because it's a dirty country, like filthy. That's one of the filthiest places I've been. Besides France, France is worse. Naples is the dirtiest. Then they cleaned up some, and now France. When I went to Marseille, but I like Marseille because it's black people that look like us. Because everywhere else you go, you don't really see black people. You see the Africans, but you don't see blacks, people that look like us.
Yeah, you can imagine the Pope from now the Pope being from Dalton, Illinois, saying, "Yeah, no, let's not sell it a school building."
I'm saying, you see how many
never even know he walked this earth.
when you see how many priests are there, it was like so like shocking to me to see how much. I was like, wow, like everybody preached. I just felt like I was going to hell. And
no.
It was Africans, like two people I see every country I went to, African and Filipinos. It was Africans selling bootleg pocketbooks and stuff in front of the Vatican.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I bought my mother a rosary off the door. I like, I'm keeping it kind of black.
But Umar is like sitting here talking about, they're not gonna, they won't sell to you and all of that. No, that's not how it works with real estate. People, if they feel like they're gonna make a little profit, why would they not do it? And then on top of that, he mentioned the demand for a curriculum. Okay, so this is what the accountability from these larger donors and sponsors want. They want to see something. They want to see what is part of your blueprint. If you're opening up a school, part of that should be a curriculum. What are you going to be teaching? Why is that a secret? So, Umar, you can't just sit back and cuddle with the boys by the fireside while they're wearing their little suits. You're going to have a curriculum in place. You miscreant from hell. You can't just sit back and say, oh, I'm not going to give you my business plan if you're talking to someone that is interested in sponsoring or being a donor. But this is why he doesn't want large donors, because he doesn't want the accountability. He doesn't want to have to show them anything in writing, any documentation. He doesn't want a paper trail. And he really thinks that's somehow going to get him out of it. And that's just not how it works. At some point, some government agency is going to demand all this stuff. And then what is he going to do? What is he going to say when the IRS starts to say, oh, okay, your tax forms, though, yeah, they're not adding up year after year. And where's the documents from PayPal and Cash App with all these transactions? We see videos of you talking about donations, gifts, and gifts. Where are all that stuff at? Because we're looking at mail fraud and wire fraud. You said banks were frozen. You got something from the bank. So where's the documentation from that bank? Yet when you put this stuff out here, they're going to use it against you. Whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law when you're putting it in a video and it's on social media. So that's what he's got to look forward to. But we're going to get back to it. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. Hit the like button for me and the LLC as well as Ankamo TV. Let's go.
Done terribly.
Yep.
And it's just war.
Yep.
It's just like, okay, well, what do I do about this? Now we gotta rip it out.
Yep.
It's just a thing that most people don't have a clue about.
They have no clue about it. And then when somebody don't finish their work, so let's say the electricians don't finish their work, you got to get another electrician. No contractor, what I saw, they never want to say the previous contractor did a good job. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like, we got to do it over. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't build from where they slept. Nah, they didn't do it. Nobody was able to say we could pick up where they started. You know what I mean? The plumbers, nah, they didn't do this right. And I know they did it right, but you just want to get paid the full thing. Yeah. So we had to deal with that, But the white folks, they did it. They charged us up. They overcharged us, but at least they finished the job. You know what I mean? So that's where we at. And then you have people say, well, if he's on his Pan-Africanism and his Garveyism platform, why would he let white people do the work? You have to distinguish and differentiate between charity and business. We don't accept donations from non-Africans, right? But if I have to pay a non-African to do a job, that's business. That's not a handout. They're not volunteering. They're not giving us nothing. We're paying them to do a job. You see, it's like if I have a store and a white person comes in and buys from my store, that's no contradiction. That's business. But if I got white folks coming in there financing me, that's a contradiction. You see, so people say, well, that's a contradiction. You got white folks doing the work. That's called business, bro. That's just business. Fee for service. It's not a handout. Now, if they was financing us, that would be a contradiction because you give up your sovereignty with them.
And so how do you keep it together? Because that sounds extremely stressful.
I'll tell you how I keep it together. Number one, I believe I was born to do the work that I do. Okay. That's the priority. The number one, people say, how you keep going through? Somebody texted me today when I was on my way here. They said, I'm trying to understand how you continue to keep going after everything people throw at you. Like your bounce back game is crazy. You know what I mean? For me, I know I was born to do what I'm doing. You know why you here.
I know he did say that.
That was wild.
Your bounce back game is crazy. What the hell does that mean? You about, okay, little Debbie snack cake. Them Swiss rolls providing that cushion in his ass that he needs.
I wonder, do he practice these lies? Because he starts staring off. I think he really believed this shit he's saying.
He said he bounced back. Yeah, okay, rubber ball.
Oh,
rubber
shit.
butt. You didn't see the bounce back when he was scrubbing shit out them toilets, though. He was bouncing anywhere.
Oh man.
He comes up with the wildest stuff to try to. It's like he's trapped in the 14-year-old mindset. Let me say the coolest thing to get the biggest points and the biggest oohs and eyes. You know, yeah, homeboy. My bounce back game is crazy, yo. You won't believe this. This is on point. It's like on lock and cat. Like, it's like, what are you saying? Speak English, Umar. We don't speak Umar Tardian. We don't speak alien. We don't speak the stuff you're talking about. And you still have. It's all about the results. What results can you produce? You're not producing any results. You still have those pyramid packages on your website, Umar, while you have no school website, you know, because you need a school website. So until he at least does the most minimal, yeah, his bounce back, you know, basket, whatever, he's a basketball head ass, you know, all that is on point, on lock, on game, on cap, or whatever he want to throw out.
Oh, man.
Let's get back to it, y'all.
You can put up with anyone. It's not a thing where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be building no school. You feel me? I don't have that.
No,
I know I'm supposed to do it, so I got to deal with whatever comes with it. So number one, I know I'm doing the work I was born to do. That's number one. Number two, I've never cared about what people thought too much. You know what I mean? Like some people, they got to be viewed positively by outsiders. I don't. I don't care what people think or what people say. And I believe my popularity had a lot to do with that too, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know if it's going to hurt your feelings. I don't know if you're going to like it. I don't know if you're going to love it, but I'm going to be honest. And I think people have grown to appreciate the honesty of my message, because I get people stop me in the airport all the time. I don't agree with everything you say, you know what I mean? But you're consistent. Whereas a lot of these other guys out here who claim to be into the conscious movement, they're not consistent. They'll flip-flop. 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, based on what gets the attention, what gets the money. I've never capitulated my position. You know what I mean? And I think thirdly, you know, I practice Yoruba spirituality. And in Yoruba spirituality, you know, you're born with a guardian angel, guardian spirit. Mine is Ogun. Ogun is the spirit of war, iron, perseverance, determination. Don't quit. Work hard. That's my guardian spirit. You feel me? So I got to keep going. You know what I mean? So I think that's how I'm able to put up with it. Strong.
Now, you've been one of the more consistent voices in our communities for over a decade.
Yes, sir.
What keeps you motivated?
Okay, I want to ask about this because I'm not in this conscious community. He talks about this old Goonie Goon spirit thing. Can you tell me anything about that? Just so I can have an understanding.
I know he one of the laziest fucking spirits ever. Look how fat and sloppy Umar is. He ain't motivate him to go do a push-up, to walk 10,000 steps or nothing. Like, I gotta say, I grew up kind of unique because my mom's was Catholic and my pops was Muslim, and my uncle and them was on that, like, that kind of, like, I guess consciousness stuff, but they ain't never talk none of that shit. Like,
he said, Goonie Goon
and shit. I'm like, that dude lazy as shit. He ain't telling him to go work out, clean his ass. He don't even know how to clean the toilet. Goon ain't tell him to fucking flush the toilet first. He just
Goonie Goon tell him, you don't have to wash your hands. It's all good, bro.
He ain't tell him to take care of his kids either. Like, come on. How you care about my son, but you won't take care of your daughter?
Okay. Multiple. What?
Yeah, that's
what,
like,
4 kids now? I mean,
he got 4?
I think he's at 4.
I feel like most dudes who have a bunch of kids don't take care of them.
Exactly. But all different women. But all different women. He's not marrying any of the women, none of this stuff. He has no drive to even take a step forward, even in his personal life. So, you know, when you're not making any strides or achievements in your personal life, how can anyone trust him to do anything business related?
Yeah, because it'll make no sense how he, and then he say the stuff, and it sound good to somebody that's not going to research or don't know. Like when I first heard him talking, he was talking about the banks, and he was like how it's a church in every messed up neighborhood, and I'm like, that is true. You see a lot of churches in the hood and a lot of liquor stores and different stuff. And he say your grandmother go to church, put all her money in a collection plate, and then they put it in that bank, and then the bank will lend it to the people that's gentrifying. And I'm like, damn, that's some real shit. But one thing we notice about him is he don't got his money in no black banks.
Exactly.
Not once did he say Zelle it to this black bank that I want.
Exactly. What bank does he have his accounts with again? Because I haven't even heard him say anything about having a bank account.
He got that shit underneath his mattress about since he was 14. It's the same dude that said he got punched in the face by an alien, remember?
I know. Please tell me that's not a part of that spirituality.
Goon punched him in the face. Said, "Clean your damn room."
Face, man. You can't make this up. So
did you see that video when he talked about getting punched in the face by the alien?
Oh yeah, I did a reaction to it. You just reminded me of it. He has so many videos out there. He said dumb things in, and I'm like, okay, he doesn't really like. I have yet to hear him say anything serious that is worth listening to when it comes to the spiritual aspect of this consciousness, the Pan-Africanism. He doesn't. He'll say something and then he'll follow it up with something that's dumb or just tell a flat out lie, and it kind of nullifies anything that he may have said that could have been serious, because it's like I can't take any of this serious. So we're gonna get back to it, y'all. But y'all just listen. I'm learning on that. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. So me hearing just on the spiritual plane of something along the lines of the of a spirit and anything like that, and then he calls it a goony goon. Man, come on. Yeah, it just to the average person that doesn't know anything about it, it makes it all look bad and fake. And it's like, I don't want to look at it like that. I want to at least be knowledgeable of what that is about, but he does not help it. This is how hypocritical he is. He is hypocritical to his own spirituality, and he makes a mockery of it. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But let's get back to it.
To be that voice, although there is so much pushback and people misunderstanding your message,
because there's not another one of me. And what I mean by that is, even though I'm the most popular person in the conscious community, Pan-Africanism is a minority philosophy amongst the conscious community. We got Nation of Islam, a lot of them. We got Hebrews, a lot of them. We got Nawapians, a lot of them. We got Guys and Earths, a lot of them. You got the Pretendians, a lot of them, right? But RBG, diehard Pan-African, Garveyism, I'm the only one. The next closest would be Asara Sut and Seti, an irritated genie. We would probably be the only 3 who rock the RBG. They don't identify as Pan-Africanists. They black nationalists, right? It's really a play on words, because Pan-Africanism gave birth to black nationalism. Well, be no black the first black nationalism was Pan-Africanism, right? So, but we would probably be the only 3 who rock the RBG. Everybody else is everything else. And it's similar to Garvey, because when the Honorable Marcus Garvey was in the States, he was the only one pushing the Pan-African thing. Early. But he was the most popular. He had the largest movement, and so he had to deal with all the hate. So there's a lot of this. I don't put myself on his level at all, right? I can't walk in them shoes, but I see a lot of the same similarities. Where was the Black Star Line Steamship Company Incorporated? Delaware. 1919. FDMG, Delaware, 2019. It's the same thing. FDMG is my Black Star Line. It's the one thing that people try to destroy, because if you succeed, it puts you over the top. You see that? Now, that Black Star Line was successful under Garvey, but it was short-lived because of the sabotage. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're trying to recreate that with me through the FDMG.
What would you say? Go ahead.
Just for our audience, if you had to define Pan-Africanism versus Garveyism versus Black nationalism, how would you explain that?
Okay, first, I would say that Garveyism is the highest stage of Pan-Africanism or revolutionary Pan-Africanism or revolutionary Pan-African nationalism, right?
Right.
And sometimes we distinguish, because you have Pan-African socialists, right? They are class first. They target capitalism as the enemy, not racism, white supremacy. So for the Pan-African socialist, it's not a contradiction to sleep with white girls, because white people are not the enemy. Capitalism is. You see that? So this is where you see people with the red, black, and green, but the red ain't on top and the black ain't in the middle, the green ain't on the bottom. They might got the green on the top of the, always pay.
Wouldn't it just be easier for him to just define each thing? Define Pan-Africanism. Okay, tell us about Garvey related to such, and Frederick Douglass related to such. What is he? He's talking about what? Oh, they wouldn't sleep with white women. Like that's so outside the scope of the definition and the concept. It's not even funny here. And like I said, if you're learning, or if you're not really well versed on these things, and you're just listening to him, you would be so confused, and it's unnecessary. Just keep it simple and give us the definition and the concept of Pan-Africanism, and then how Garvey and or Douglass played a role in it. It's that simple. And when you state the obvious, then you can state the differences in it. Why is he going around the bush with this nonsense? This is why I can't take his ass seriously. Y'all sorry.
Like you said, word gumbo.
Right. So, all right, let's get back to this word salad.
Attention to the order of the colors.
Right.
The Garvey flag is RBG. If you ever see GBR or BRG, you're probably dealing with some socialists who are revolutionary integrationists.
But for the term Pan-African, just
right, stay with me. So I want to, it's very important that we clarify the socialism. Capitalism is the enemy versus the nationalism. White supremacy is the enemy. You feel me? The socialists say if we kill capitalism, we automatically destroy racism. And we say, have you been to Russia? They communists, racist as hell against blacks. Have you been to China? I've spoken there several times, racist against blacks. So I don't care if you change the economic system, there will still be racism against African people, right? Now, let me go back to your question. Garveyism is the highest stage of it. What I mean by that, we're the strictest. So we're gonna say no snow bunny hopping. Other Pan-Africanists might not say that. We're going to say that the international government for African people must be on a continent. Not every Pan-Africanist will say that. Some Pan-Africanists will say we can have the international government in the United States. We can have the international government in Jamaica. We can have it in Haiti. Why got to be Africa? We say Africa because number one, it's the motherland, and number two, it's the richest piece of real estate on the planet Earth. Why would you give up all those resources? Why would you give up all those resources just because you hate yourself? Because whoever controls Africa controls the world.
Right, it's the cradle of civilization.
Exactly. So the Garveyite, we're the strictest. If I was to give you a religious comparison, let's go to Islam, right? You got the Sunni Orthodox Muslims. Then you got your Shia Muslims. Right. The Shia are only 5%, right? But they are very, very strict in what they do. Their women cover their faces. It's a stricter form of Islam, right? Garveyism is a stricter form of Pan-Africanism. Now, black nationalism, which is Pan-Africanism's child. There's no black nationalism before Pan-Africanism. Henry Highland Garnett, Pan-Africanist. Paul Cuffey, Pan-Africanist. Alexander Crummell, Pan-Africanist. Bishop Henry B. Mill Turner, Pan-Africanist. These are the fathers of black nationalism. They were all Pan-Africanists. The difference between Pan-Africanism and black nationalism is black nationalism don't deal with the international chessboard. They deal with the domestic chessboard. You feel me? The black nationalist says, I'm looking out for blacks in America. What we going to do for us here? We deal with Africa later after we fix this.
So my question to you is this, right? Just so for everybody to understand.
Yes.
So we say Pan-Africanism.
Global.
Are you talking
all Africans?
Well, are you talking about repatriation, meaning that all black people need to leave and go back to Africa?
So let's go back to Garveyism, being the highest stage, right?
Right.
Most Pan-Africanists believe in some form of repatriation, but you don't have to be a supporter of.
Yeah, okay. For those who are just as confused as I am, let's do this right quick because I believe in dropping receipts. I'm just gonna pull up the definition for what I've been able to Google. Pan-Africanism is a movement that promotes unity, solidarity, and cooperation among people of African descent worldwide, aiming to address shared historical struggles and foster collective identity. So this is the definition and goals. You can just Google it. It's on Wikipedia of Pan-Africanism. He was asked a very simple question. Okay, what is it? What is Marcus Garvey and Frederick Douglass? How do they factor into Pan-Africanism? How is it so difficult to say what it is? Give some historical context, like so here. You see here, you have key figures such as W.E.B. Du Bois. You have Edward Wilmot Blyden, Martin Delany. You know, why is it so difficult for him to just go through this? Like, just tell us the definition. Even if he recites this and read this or memorize it, you're at least covering the basics. So for all those who want to know, like I did, and you can't take it no more, then you can just Google it. This is what it means. You know, and those who have more knowledge to share, just drop it in the chat. That way we can keep this flowing because he's a headache. He's a whole headache. That way I'm listening, but I'm not taking in anything because he's not saying anything that makes sense. And if you're not fully aware, you're gonna be so confused. You're gonna be so confused. So, all right, anything you want to add on Uncle Mo TV?
Yeah, he said a bunch of nothing. And trying to make Marcus Garvey seem more than what he was, because W.E.B. Du Bois actually went to Africa and moved out there. Mm-hmm. Remember, Marcus Garvey died in London. Remember, they did like a hit piece on him, and he seen it. They thought he was dead already, and it made him have like a heart attack, and he died when they were saying how he scammed people out of their money and everything.
Wow!
Like he really just studied history, and he's weaponizing it. Because he's using the truth to disarm people with his lies, to get people to donate and make him think he's smarter than what he is.
Right. And I mean, the fact that he could be debunked so easily.
Yeah.
If I could pull up every single permit he's ever had, filed against these schools and see all of them are expired, like you're not getting any work done to the school building. So the fact that he's talking about people came in and painted. When? Because I didn't see not one permit for a contractor or vendor to come in and paint.
I want to know when he changed his name. What made him come to the conclusion to change his whole name?
That's a good question. I mean, wasn't he born Umar?
Jermaine Schumacher. Jermaine
Schumacher. Johnson and then Jermaine Shoemaker, something like that. He's got like 5 different names. You know, it's man. That's part of it.
He covered a lot of lies in this interview. He tried to get ahead of it about the DNA test and stuff. How he don't believe that shit, and they selling the information. They're not selling it to the military because they banned us from doing from doing DNA, that ancestries and all that shit. They banned us from even doing it because they know that they sell the information to insurance companies, and then they can see if your family got any precursors for certain hereditary diseases and don't cover you.
Yep, exactly.
But he's so damn slow. He tried to make it seem like, oh, they're gonna clone you and make all this. Man, they not doing none of that stuff.
Please. And even if they cloned him, nobody wants Umar Johnson clone. No one. All right, y'all. Let's get back to it.
Supporter of repatriation as a Pan-Africanist. Okay. You must be a supporter of repatriation as a Garveyite. All right. You follow what I'm saying? Understood. It's not an option for us. Right. But some Pan-Africanists will say, I don't think you necessarily got to go back to Africa or deal with Africa. But for Garveyites, absolutely repatriation. But let's be clear, though. I want to clarify. Marcus Garvey never said take everybody back to Africa. He never had a back to Africa movement. The media called it that. Marcus Garvey said, some of you are no good in America and will likewise be no good in Africa. I have no intention of resettling every African in the diaspora back home, and neither do I. What I want to take blonde wigs and bunny hoppers, basketballs and footballs and weaves and perms and Air Jordans, hell, video game systems. Africa got enough problems as it is. You don't need us coming over there with more toxicity. I believe in a scientific, strategic Pan-Africanism where only those who are in their right mind and who are going to the mother continent to contribute something should go to Africa. I don't believe you just go because you African. No. What are you going to do when you get there?
All right.
Big.
Boom. I was talking to Cato earlier, and I'm like, it's just he's just better than a lot of people at communicating his message. Sure. Now, if your younger self could see the man that you've become today, what would you think?
If my younger self knew that I would become the man that I am today, I would have gotten married before September 18, 2010. That's the Chicago interview that changed my whole life. I would have got married. What else?
Wow.
The main thing is I would have got married because looking back, I know I could have done so much more with a queen by my side who I could trust. So I know if I had a queen, I probably have 5 schools already. Because she would have been able to help maneuver, and she could have been the face of a lot of what I had to do. See, a lot of the resistance is they know who I am, as opposed to I'm gonna let you front it. You follow me? They don't even know I'm involved. All they see is the queen. They never even see Dr. Umar until the door's open. You see what I'm saying? So I see where I lost time by not having that queen. If I would have knew, I would have had her. But there's no way of knowing. Right. You follow what I'm saying? But if the ancestors would have said, listen, you're going to Chicago, you're going to do an interview, 6 weeks later, you're going to go to Harlem, and once you drop that interview from Chicago off in Harlem, in 48 hours, you're going to be the biggest name in Black consciousness. I would have wifed one of the sisters who I felt could have helped me down. None of them were really conscious, though, but they were good women. I would have wifed one. Could they have survived the rise? I don't know. Because it's one thing dating a local psychologist. It's something completely different dating somebody who's on 3 continents in 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know if they could have handled that, but I would have been willing to try because I needed that foundation. Right. And now it's scary because you don't know who you can trust. Women come to you for the wrong things. They talk the black talk until they get to a certain point, and then they might flip if they don't get what they want. So it's dangerous dating when you're Dr. Umar now because everybody know who you are.
Yeah. And it has to be difficult for these women as well. Like they have to understand your power, right? Yes. And a lot of it, I would imagine, they would probably try to fit in too early on without kind of understanding their own role.
Yes. And the biggest issues with women, 4 biggest issues. Number 1, insecurity about other women. I'm a school psychologist by profession. Who's raising most of our kids? The mothers. So there's going to be women around all the time because that's who I have to serve to help the babies. If you're not secure in who you are, you're not going to be able to exercise composure and discipline when it matters most, and you'll end up embarrassing you and embarrassing me, you see. So the insecurity about other women, that's a big deal. You got to be comfortable in your skin. There's always going to be a woman who looks better than you, but you need to understand that I'm committed to you, right? And when I look back over these 15 years, there were some good women I dated, bro, but they were very insecure about other women. I could not do it. So that's 1. Number 2, confidentiality. Talk too much. You can't chat my business because I got too many enemies. Not everything, well, this is my girlfriend. I don't give a damn. She ain't my girlfriend. Stop chatting my business because you don't know who she pillow talking with.
Pause. So you can't tell his business because he's got enemies when people barely know who the hell he is. And if they do, they don't take him seriously. It's all about the fact that he wouldn't want someone to say he's not building a school. He doesn't let his family see the mother. He's got her hiding in a home. You know, we don't know if she's alive in there or not. We have no idea what's going on. He wants to be able to keep all of this nonsense under wraps because he knows if it gets out, it's going to raise a lot of flags, probably bring on a lot of investigations, and he would be hemmed up for all this money he's been collecting and not monitoring, not utilizing towards opening anything, not spending, towards the school itself. He's been funding his lifestyle. How is he eating if he doesn't have a job and yet he's not using any money for his personal use? Explain that. Like, dude should be starving. He should be a skeleton. But, all this plumpness and Little Debbie snack cakes, he's not starving. He's not missing out on a meal.
Like, look like he's getting bigger.
Exactly. He's getting bigger. His belly is filled with choco milk. Like, he has no indulgence. He's not going to just, sacrifice any level of indulgence for himself. He just filmed himself in the airport eating a Cinnabon. Not a salad, Cinnabon. So he clearly is spending money at least to buy food. But the thing is, where are the receipts? How are you tracking those expenses? That is the problem. And his Umartardians don't ask those questions whatsoever. They're like a cult. It's a hive mindset. Let's not say or do anything to piss him off. If he was so confident in himself, why can't he answer questions when it comes to a curriculum? Why can't he answer questions as to why, he doesn't have any vendor invoices or receipts? Or why aren't your tax forms, the contributions every year lining up? Why aren't they matching? These are the things that people are going to naturally ask and wonder. Why aren't you getting help to help you get the school up and running? Why is it taking so long? He doesn't even want to answer those questions because he knows that he's not trying to open these schools. But yet he wants to talk about somebody being insecure. All right, your thoughts on that?
Remember his he keep talking about Willerton, that the school building show. Remember, he left Philly because his first nonprofit got shut down because he didn't file taxes for 3 consecutive years. And that's around the same time he bought the school. He just reopened it and added RBG to the name to make the new one that he got in Willerton instead of correcting the old one.
Correct.
What's his name? Got him. Pocket Watchers had him up there talking about his case. No women give a damn about him, man. We seen
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. What is his whole obsession with thinking that he can just have any woman on earth? Because you let him tell it. He could take somebody's wife on a lunch date and then have that husband's paying him $500 for it.
Listen, I'll let him take mine on a date, and I'm pretty sure we both gonna sit there laughing at him the whole time. She gonna be like, I want to hear that paid advocate shit.
I hope you sitting there the whole time ready to whip his ass for even thinking he gonna take your wife.
That's how I'm like, you ain't, if you can do that, then any man out there can take her, man. He never show us him at home no more. And we seen when the camera flipped over how that house looked.
Yep. So yeah, ladies, you guys don't have to what would you be oogling over other than the fact that his name is Umar Johnson? I mean, you could just write his name on a piece of paper and put that on your pillow at night. You don't need him there. He has nothing to offer. A piece of paper with his name on it would offer you a lot more happiness than that. So his whole fictitious mindset of, the women would be, could they handle the rise? Could they handle the fame? You're not famous. If anything, you're going to be bringing down these women and they're going to end up being investigated right along with you for being a co-conspirator. I mean, you're not, when I say he has nothing to offer anybody at this point, he had to pay Marianne Lorient. Thank you for reminding me of that, Domo. He had to pay Marianne Lorient $68,000. And guess what? That had to come from donation funds, people. All because he thinks that he can say and do what he wants to do and get away with it. That's not how it works, Umar. So let's get back to it, y'all.
And you don't know who they pillow talking with. You see what I'm saying? Because I think women don't understand the dangers of what I do. I'm not Cat Williams, right? And much respect to Cat. I'm not Shannon Sharp. I'm not Kevin Hart. They're purely entertainment. They're not grassroots activists. So they don't have to look over their shoulder all the time. Now, if they're beefing with somebody, yes, but their job in and of itself is not a danger. Right. My job in and of itself is a danger. I get death threats on a regular basis. You can't be running around telling people everything we do and where we go because you're compromising my security and you don't even know it because you're looking at me as an entertainer. You're not looking at me as an activist. And this is where I say all the time, my celebrity, and I hate to use that word, my celebrity sometimes undermines my activism because people don't understand. You feel me? This is not about The jokes and the laughs and the views and the clicks and the pictures, that's cute, but that's just the icing on the cake. It ain't the cake. And y'all missing the whole point of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so I think sometimes women in the general community sometimes fail to forget he's not an entertainer. He's an activist. His message is dangerous. Taking on the pharmaceutical industry, taking on the special ed complex, taking on the juvenile incarceration system. These are multi-billion-dollar industries. They don't like what I'm teaching. I got a letter from the Attorney General of Pennsylvania a couple years ago. He threatened to take my credentials if I didn't stop teaching what I was teaching. He gave no examples of what I was teaching. You feel me? He just said, if you keep saying what you're saying, we're going to take your credentials away from you. And I'm saying, what exactly am I saying that ain't true? Or he gave no examples, but he basically threatened to shut me down if I keep on waking parents up to the dangers of and to their rights regarding special ed, ADHD, behavior problems, psychiatric mess, because I know it's affecting the bottom line because there's too many parents I've woke up, and not just the black parents, because I get calls from the Asians, the East Indians, they'll never tell you, but I help parents all across the spectrum, but of course it's mostly the African parents. They're beginning to feel the pinch of that a little bit. And I think they have the state trying to crack down on me because of it. So I need people to understand that I may have the mainstream popularity of a celebrity, but my work is that of a Malcolm and a Martin and a Garvey and a Megger and a Huey. That's the work. You follow what I'm saying? Don't lose sight of the work because you're caught up in the appearance of things. And that's where the celebrity undermines the activism.
Did you hear speaking on women and their ability to talk?
Yes.
A little too much.
Yes.
Did you hear Aisha Curry, Steph Curry's wife? She recently had a podcast where she was speaking to the people. It seems as if there was a bit of a misconception in what she was saying. What she stated, and look, there's two sides of it, and I understand both. From what I gathered from what she says is, she meets Steph Curry, she's a 22-year-old girl. She wasn't expecting to be all this. I didn't expect to be a mom. She feels like she kind of lost herself in this, although she's, dating a superstar. She's got she's got all the money, she's got the beautiful kids, she's got the life, but she's saying like, this isn't the life I wanted.
Her identity.
And what she stated, from what I gathered, is I wanted to be the queen, the businesswoman that helped, not the one that just was the mother at home. I wanted to be able to build a career and be able to help build up my man. And it just so happened that this is my path.
I guess my question for her would be, why couldn't you still have done that? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Why,
Are you not in a better position to do so now?
Yeah, I don't see why she could not have still done that. I would be confused about that. Now, if she was dating an activist and said that, that would be different. Because if you Betty Shabazz or Coretta Scott King or Amy Garvey or Anna Douglas, your whole life changes because of the mission of your husband, because he's serving the people. Right. She ain't married to an activist, you're married to an athlete. So who's rich? So why couldn't you still have done that? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Yeah. I understand what she's saying, but I don't understand why she could not have still led that life.
Yeah. And it seems to be the issue right now with podcasts and media just all over the place, because you can go down the street and there's media there. There's somebody there, just as we are today.
Yes.
The voices are outspoken, and it seems, a lot of people sit there and they look at it and they say, well, man, what it must feel to be like, even though they don't know how Steph Curry feels. Oh man, it must suck that he has to go through that with a woman saying, it's kind of like that Travis Hunter thought. Also you're saying that maybe you meeting me kind of thwarted your life in a negative way.
Umar's no one's husband.
I would argue Steph may not mind because he knows she's not going anywhere. I don't mean that in a negative way, but I think they have a pretty good marriage.
Yeah.
So he's probably at the point in his life where he's like, let her talk. You know what I mean? Because what y'all don't know is she really enjoying the benefits of being Miss Curry. Despite all that, you see what I'm saying? You're enjoying the benefits of being Miss Curry. So I think he's good with it at this point. It almost harkens me back to what Jada Pinkett Smith was saying about Will Connor.
Let me ask this, Uncle Mo. Do you think that Umar would ever be able to even have a conversation with Steph Curry on his best day any day of the week, on his best day, would even be able to have a conversation with Steph Curry about anything, let alone Steph Curry's wife?
Yeah, like it's crazy. And he act like the way I feel too when it comes to people relationships now that I'm older, that's their business.
Exactly.
If Steph got enough money, if he really felt offended by that, he could have had that thing taken down so fast. And only thing I do agree with Umar is he felt he just letting her talk. But I also feel that because she went her own lane, he's probably letting her talk because that's gonna bring the views, not her saying, "Oh, I want to go start a business," because there's gonna be people out there like, "What you need a business for? You got all the money in the world, But if she go out there and say, I feel like he didn't, like I was his wife, so I couldn't start a business. Now, if she started a business, everybody's going to flock to it,
Yeah, exactly. People are going to try it out at least once and support it, whatever it is. But Umar's sitting here speaking as if he's somebody's husband. He's never been married.
He shouldn't talk about relationships.
He should be, thank you.
Or parenting. Those are two things. You shouldn't even talk about being a psychiatrist, because The videos I keep seeing his daughter, she's clearly crashing out. And if you this well-renowned psychiatrist to help all these kids, but you can't help your own kids, that says everything I need to know about you.
Exactly. And that's, I mean, the hypocrisy of the idea that he's famous for accomplishing something when he's not. And then of course he speaks about this, matter where someone told him they didn't want him teaching anymore. No, it was because he was trying to diagnose, some kids, because he's not a psychiatrist. And even as a psychologist, you still need a certification, and he didn't have the credentials to diagnose anyone. That's more of practicing. You need to be a MD. You need to be able to have the credentials to diagnose. Not, and then for his mindset, what the way he thinks people shouldn't give their children prescription medication. If they have ADHD, no, your child doesn't need this medication. They can just go outside and run around 15 times. Like this is the buffoonery and the danger in what he says by saying the kid who went to a doctor who's a licensed MD or a licensed psychiatrist gives the child a prescription, and you're telling them, the parent, not to allow the child to take the prescription because you somehow think they just don't need it for reasons when you're not licensed or certified to train to give that type of diagnosis. You can't write prescriptions. You're not a medical physician. So the idea that he's sitting here telling parents, don't give your child this medication. Your child, is nothing wrong with your kid. He has no ability to even do a testing. He doesn't probably even know what a DSM criteria is. So for him to even be saying these things, this is why he gets caught up in the situations he's in. And he doesn't see anything wrong with it.
Each kid is different.
Exactly.
Some kids need it. Some kids don't. Some kids need an ass whooping. Some kids like I got 3 kids, right? All 3 of my kids are different. Like my oldest is real quiet. She's 21, real quiet. My 14-year-old is annoying. And she's going through that teenage phase. She don't want to be bothered with us. Just give me money, take me shopping.
Okay.
9th grader.
Yeah.
My boy bouncing off the walls. Super smart though, super polite, super. That's why I say each kid is different. They all develop at different paces. My oldest used to fake like she couldn't walk when she was a little kid and want you to carry her. My middle one was walking at like 8 months, getting up, taking off. My first one was talking quick, full conversations at like a year. Could tell you everything that went on, but then it fake like she couldn't walk. And I was like, she's smart because she outsmarted my whole side of the family, had us carrying her around. And her mother was like, why the hell are you carrying her? She could walk. We put her down, then she walked.
She was being a daddy's girl.
Then I thought my son, I thought he was going to be like, he was just so bad. And then as soon as he got to school, complete 180.
Yeah. And every kid, even, I have 2 boys and, I have both by my ex-husband. So they have, same mother, same father, same upbringing, same household. And they're almost like night and day in many areas. So it's like, it's not because one is very studious and he's grown, like he knew how to read by the time he was 2. My oldest son was getting, reading awards in pre-K. And reading on a 2nd grade level at 4 years old. So, his development started very early. And just like with my second son, he leans more to hands-on. You can tell him some information, he'll remember it. You can teach him how, show him how to do something, picks it up like it's nothing. My kid, that doesn't mean one is smarter than the other. It's just they have that intellect and that development in different ways. So if my youngest son or even my oldest son have to take a prescription medication for something my youngest son doesn't mean that I failed or that, my oldest son does not need it, even though he's smart. But it's because there has been some sort of prognosis, some sort of testing done, and the doctor feel that it is warranted. And me as the parent, I'm going to go behind that. I'm going to research the information. I'm going to look up the prognosis. I'm going to look up the medication. I'm going to see the side effects of it. I'm going to see the long term. How long does my child have to take this? Are there other therapeutic ways to where this can be, tackled, aside from just medication? But that's my job as the mom to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence. That's my job. So for him to say, don't give your child meds would be reckless if a parent actually listened to him. He's not a licensed physician, and then they stop giving their child medication. That would be absolutely reckless. And as a parent, if you are dumb enough to listen to Umar tell you not to give your child some medication, you should not be a parent. You should have CPS come and question you at the very least. If not, take the child from you, because there is no reason why anyone should be giving him this level of credibility when he doesn't even have the credentials or the certificates or the licensure to measure up to that. That's
even an experience as a parent. Like,
exactly.
That's like, to me, that's like a job in itself. Even when I work with some people, when I found out that they parents, especially a mother, I feel like, all right, that's a leg up, because I already know you know how to manage people, you know how to manage attitudes, you know how to have a thick skin, and I know most of the time you ain't gonna take no mess,
Right, exactly. Shout out to the Information Man Show for being here with us. The Informant Media is also in here. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If I could get the mods to drop the YouTube channel links for Information Man Show of the Informant Media, I would appreciate that. And we've got Ankamo with us, so you guys make sure you hit that like button. Thank you for engaging in the chat. We're gonna get back to it, you guys. I appreciate all you all for tuning in.
That I seen come across, but I ain't get to answer it.
Hold on. Let me go back.
I can't speak for the whole military, but I can speak for the Navy. I've been in the Navy 22 years. So I done.
Okay. Did I skip over it?
I've been dealing with a lot. Like, it's a lot that comes with it. So I know.
Okay.
But I know certain things they don't do in certain things. Like, I do feel like some stuff they experience, because they make you get every vaccination because they don't want you to catch nothing. But they cheap as hell.
Yep.
Go take the cheapest option.
Oh shit. Yep. I mean,
that's why when I hear military grade, I don't want it.
Yeah, I heard that'll knock you out.
We laugh about that. He's like, the public be like, military grade, they think it's good. We hear it like, I don't want that.
I don't want that one. I got you. Let's get back to it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
On the same lines. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I really don't like when the women publicly go against their husbands.
It's so distasteful.
I don't mind a little bit of it to let people know you're still your own woman.
Right.
I understand you got to do that for the feminazi. I get it.
Especially if it's real.
Right.
I understand.
But to constantly, like Aisha, this is becoming a pattern.
Well, yeah.
Jada, it's a pattern.
Like that.
You know what I mean? Like, are you emasculating me in public?
Well,
like,
then after that, I saw a clip of her on, I think it was The View, and they had some guy, buff black dude, shirt off, bring out some drinks. They said, I think it's time for us to have a drink. And the topless dude come out with a tray full of drinks. She did one of these gestures like, oh, he's here.
Which one? Which one?
Aisha.
Aisha
grabbed the ring.
Did you actually see the clip? I heard about it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to look. Hopefully she was joking. Still inappropriate, though.
Yeah.
Still in her back, and now the narrative is out there. And I don't think this is the first time she's expressed this taste about being the famous person's wife.
Yeah. Well, if she wants an open relationship, and I couldn't have that with my woman personally. I just couldn't. But them celebrities, they do that. If she wants an open relationship, bring it to your husband and see what he has to say about it. I heard Will and Jada has an open relationship. I don't know if it's true. Allegedly, they have an open relationship. So maybe Aisha wants an open relationship. I don't know if Steph is into that, because his parents were married. They divorced, but they were married a long time. Yeah. So normally when you come from that type of foundation, you want a traditional foundation, not no crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But it sounds like she needs to get back out there to revalidate her femininity again.
Yeah, it sounds like where she's going.
You know what I mean? Because, in marriage, you can grow apart. And, I've done a lot of therapy, a lot of life coaching. People can sometimes grow apart. It's not that he wrong. It's not that she wrong. We just not the people we were before. Is she there yet? You know what I mean? That would be the question. Yeah. Are you there yet? Are you ready to start dating outside this marriage? And if you are, that's a conversation you got to have with your husband. I support the black couples. I don't want to see them break up. I love the Steph and Aisha thing. You know what I mean? I'm glad Will and Jada are still together through all the crazy stuff. You know what I mean? I love the Nelly and the Shanties. I love the LeBrons and his queen.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
We need those examples of young black love. When Offset and Cardi B broke up, I was like, damn, because y'all was a nice couple. You know what I mean? With the babies and everything. You know what I mean? I just think we need to preserve that black love, especially amongst the young folks, because right now, they pushing the bunny hop so much and the rainbow so much.
Yeah, he can't even say the word marriage. He's just saying, the thing. It's like it pains him to even think about just a natural traditional family set, a family unit. They had a good thing with the babies and everything. But it's not like he's ever gotten married simply because he had a baby with someone. So that's not even a reason for him to be sitting here saying someone should or should not get married, or they should not divorce because of the babies and everything. Like, you're not even married because of babies. Mm-hmm. Like, the hypocrisy in this is staggering to me. And I do want to say thank you for your service. I apologize for not saying that earlier. You have some shipmates in here.
I just dropped my retirement papers, my request to retire. Hopefully they say yes. They will play. Okay.
Y'all, got 2 years left. Retire, y'all. He ready to retire. He's 2 years left. There you go.
But Umar ain't even signed his kid's birth certificate, so I don't want to hear nothing he got to say.
Exactly.
And made up all his bullshit. Like when he said, "Oh, it was already turned to the back page." Well, turn it over. All it's saying that you acknowledge fraternity. That's it, man. That's all it said.
Exactly. But
like,
even if he signed it, he's still not a good father. He's not an example of present parent in their lives either. So,
like mine, I don't know what I would do without mine.
Me either, child. Listen, I will reshift the gravitational pull of this planet for my 2 children.
Yeah.
So if you guys wake up and the North Pole is in Miami, Florida, I did it. Let's go.
That our children are not seeing enough examples of healthy Black love, and if they don't start seeing it, they're not going to want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. With Aisha's case, how you stated you don't know why she's not doing it. Does the mothering those children early on? You don't think that takes an effect?
It does. Yeah. It does. But did you not have a say in that? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Steph didn't. I don't know the dynamics of the relationship, but
take this baby.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you wanted that baby because part of having that baby was locking in the bag. Like, let's be real.
Business agreement is official.
First to the ocean gets the drink. You know what I mean?
Your contract's $450 million.
So let's not act like these babies was all unplanned. Okay, maybe 2 or 3 was, but that first one to a celebrity, no woman's convincing me that you had an unplanned baby with a celebrity. Come on, it was planned. I want them to stick together.
And I think they will because he seems to be defending her.
Okay, good.
I like that.
Like, I like that.
You let her go.
Now his mom might need to have a conversation with her though, from mother-in-law to daughter-in-law. Like, listen,
that's a good one.
You know what I mean?
Here's how we handle it.
You better leave my baby alone.
Yeah, save that. Come talk to me. But you can't keep running on these little shows. You know what I mean? Taking hits at my son because he's held you down. And I've never heard anything about Steph and any infidelity. And he's very popular amongst the women. You feel me? I haven't heard nothing. So he's doing a good job. You know what I mean? So
that's the complaint. Let's not do this on The View.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Can we do some counseling within home? I like what you said.
Yes.
Have the mother of I like that.
I'm a huge Curry fan, and there's Bron out there, and I love Bron too. But if you're kind of forced in one direction, if you like Curry, you gotta If
I gotta choose one or the other, I might have to go Curry.
But there's a great example of a powerful relationship in Savannah and LeBron.
Oh yes,
you know what I mean? Because you won't catch her.
Nah,
you won't catch her bad mouthing Bron.
Nah, you won't. Yeah, you won't.
What do you think is the core message that you want to deliver to the Black youth?
My core message is liberation through unity. My core message is, as Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois said once, who was a Pan-Africanist, although he was an enemy of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Du Bois said, if Black people put half as much time into building for ourselves that we do arguing with the government, we'd be a lot further along than where we are now. Take reparations. I support reparations. It was the Pan-Africanist movement that gave birth to reparations. And we are entitled to it, and we should fight for it, and we will get it. But while we're waiting for that, or while we're fighting for that, we are a $2 trillion people, We are the 10th richest economy on earth, You do know we spend $2 billion on Jordans and $4 billion on liquor every year, Almost $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, financing our own cancer. My point is, fight the system for what they owe us, but hold yourself accountable for what you have that you're not using to advance your community. That is a fundamental Pan-Africanist and a Garvey critique of the Black experience in America. We could be doing more with what we have, and we're not. All these schools closed down. Why we ain't buying them and opening up our own schools? Why we don't have our own hospitals, right? When that COVID, they killed off all our elders with the COVID, where the Black hospitals at? We owned and operated more than 500 Black hospitals in America. 500 in 400 years. That's more than a hospital a year. We down to maybe a dozen now. You see what I'm saying? Wow. So yes, fight the government for what we need. You got to fight them because they're racist and they're oppressive and they're always trying to marginalize us. But come on, y'all. You mean to tell me we shouldn't have more banks of our own, more hospitals of our own, more supermarkets of our own, more schools of our own? Why y'all so worried about Dr. Umar School? You build one. That's only one. We need hundreds of them. Where yours at? And I really believe that slavery stole from us our natural God-given desire to control our destiny. We are not stingy about power. We are not selfish about control. Every other community is. And I think a part of that stems from the religious indoctrination that has made the American African people feel like they have to love everybody as much as they love themselves. When you love everybody as much as you love yourself, you're never a priority, not even for yourself. So we can't catch up unless we get undivided attention. Look at our professional organizations. Congressional Black Caucus, they for everybody, not just black people. They rewrote their mission statement a few years ago to reflect we're for everybody, not just blacks. NAACP, we're for everybody, not just blacks. Urban League, we're for everybody, not just blacks. They're fraternities and sororities, the Divine Nine, I love them, but they're for everybody, not just for blacks. What organization has an undivided focus on the liberation and salvation and emancipation of African people in this country? You can hardly find them. And a big part of that is so many of our organizations are financed by white philanthropy. If they're funding you, you can't be pro-black.
Never be greater.
You can't, because we are not popular in this country. So if you're taking money from anybody talking about I'm going to use it to help black people, you're going to run into a brick wall. You cannot do that. That's why we have to finance ourselves. There was a book written. I haven't completed reading it, and it's called The Revolution Will Not Be Financed. The book is talking about why we haven't made more progress in America because we keep looking for somebody else to finance the movement.
Right.
The government didn't finance King. The government didn't finance the Panthers. They didn't finance Black Liberation Army. They didn't finance the Nation. They didn't finance Garvey. None of the great movements was financed by white people. So how are you expecting to get free with the same chain that enslaves you?
So you're saying it's a lack of unification versus a gatekeeping or blackballing?
No, you got gatekeeping. Okay. But that gatekeeping could not be as successful as it is if we had the unity.
I see.
The unity is the issue. And the reason we have such trouble unifying is, number one, most of us identify with religion more than race. In fact, we're the only people in America who identify with religion more than race, because the Arabs will be Muslim, but they Arab first.
Right.
When I was in China, they had Muslims in China, they had Jehovah's Witnesses in China, but they were all about the best interests of Chinese people.
So amongst all the things he said, I'm just going to summarize what I've heard so far. And Mo, you can kind of piggyback on what you think you're getting out of this right now. Slavery has so far crippled all of us from not being able to maintain power, even though he refuses to show receipts. Something about, Arabs being Arabs first and then Muslims second. Still, he's being racist, and he doesn't believe that, black people should have any dealings with white people, even though he expects, middle to low income black people to keep funding his pyramid scheme. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much all I've gotten so far since the whole, Curry situation. What you got?
This Danza report, they don't seem like bad brothers. I don't know them, but they just let him talk, because he said, let me tell you about a book that I read that I didn't finish reading it. I'm like, what? Like, how you know they talk about? And then, like, I've been to Dubai from when they first started building up Dubai. You can't say they Arabs first when the whole country is Muslim. Like, you don't know what else they want to be. It's other people that come there to work there, but it's not like how he make these other places seem. And then he said China is so racist. I was in China. They don't even really pay attention to you over there. Like, they just smile at you and stuff and go, like, a lot of people, when you American black, they are so happy to see you when you get there. Like, you're like a celebrity just walking through there because they're not used to seeing you. But he's full of it, man. Like, he said that.
He ran off Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter said,
he said, I read a book, but I didn't finish reading it. Like, what part did you stop at?
What page did you get to? What was
and these guys was like, yeah, he was like, and black people with religion, like, we all follow the same religion. We all, it was like, yeah, and
make this stuff up.
Oh yeah, and and I used to carry golden chicken too. Like, I knew something was wrong with her when she was carry chicken, but she really wanted carry goat. Like, shut the hell up.
Yet no one asked him, what is the school website? That's can we get that? What is the school website? Like, just the Danza project.
Miss Lene, one thing I could say, because she said Chinese are racist to Africans. Nobody likes us as a whole anywhere, right? But like, I ask people when I go places, I'm like, well, what's your problem with me and shit? So a lot of people in these countries, like, I'll use Italy as a good example. They went at it with the Africans, but didn't have a problem with like American blacks and blacks everywhere because they was doing business with them. That a lot of these places brought Africans in there to do their work. Like, they got a thing called a Camorra. In America, we always talk about the mafia. And in like Italy, the mafia is not really a thing. They did in Sicily, but it's the Camorra that's more dangerous. The Nigerians that went over there worked for them for a little while, and then they started fighting back. And Africans are over there scamming people and selling fake stuff, so they got their own beefs. But when they see that we from the States, they like I was over there for a long time, for like almost a year. And I gotta travel for my job a lot. But like you said, everybody, like everywhere we go, that's why I like being black, because it's dangerous. People hate us everywhere we go. So I feel like you ain't gonna hate something that's not worth something, you know? But it's people like Umar that makes it bad for us, because he gets out there preaching his BS, and then they think all of us is on this panhandling stuff and acting like we so much. And I hate snow bunnies and I hate this. I don't care who you date. Somebody like Umar make me want to mess with a snow bunny if I wasn't married, because it's like, goddamn, like what you keeping me away from?
Issue with that? And we all know he doesn't care. Like, we know Umar just likes women. He doesn't even consider women to be people. He looks at them as objects. You know, 5'5" thick in the thigh. That's his. When it comes to women, he doesn't even consider women to be human. He sees women as 5'5" thick in the thigh. And whether you meet that criteria or not, that's how he rates you. That's it. So in his world, personally, I think he hates women, you know, and in his world, you know, he just tolerates and deals with women for whatever use he thinks they're good for. That's it.
I don't think women paid him attention. I don't think they started paying him attention to like maybe 10 years ago once they seen him on there. Because I can't, even when they show him acting on that movie, he seems so out of place talking to women. Like he seems so weird, man. Like he seems so out there. And then he don't know how to handle rejection either. Like,
nope, not at
all.
Like,
I don't like how he was talking about Miss Lene on there, because let's say, like, I don't know you, don't get offended, man. Let's just say it was true. You messed with her for 2 years, so you liked it. Whatever it was there, you enjoyed it for 2 years. So don't come here trying to talk down on her now. You like that shit. So don't that'd be like me saying something like I was with my wife 16 years. That'd be like me saying anything about her. There's nothing I can say about that woman, because I obviously liked it. I was there for all this time, bro. So for you to knock her, you mess with her, bro. So cut it out.
Right. And he ended up being this, you know, piece of crap shit slob that he is. I mean, you know, she looked beyond what he did and did not have to offer her, and liked him for him. And now look how he's turned out. I mean, he's a complete monstrosity. He's a monster. So
she's the best thing I seen him with, because come on, he was up there simping for Sukiana, and we all see the stuff she talk about. And as soon as they told her in that interview that, hey, she was talking about you, he found his way to her. Then he was messing with the conscious stripper or something before that. Like he don't make good choices in around people. And I feel like none of these women, besides the ones that believed in his movement, would have gave him a chance. And I think now that he getting these chances, he don't know how to handle it. He really think that he's he delusional. Yeah, he really think that delusional. He wants to be a bad bitch. That's what it really is. he got to be the cute one in the relationship. He think, you know. That's what it really is. Be the bad buddy.
Umar want to be the bad buddy. Y'all don't know that? Umar said, I'm the bad buddy up in here.
Did he say I'm the star and all this stuff? Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Trying to fight with him for the mirror. Like, you know, all the things he sits here dog out of other men about, you know, no. Umar, I just want you to remember, you said you want to cuddle with little boys by the fireside. So as long as that's still out there in the cosmos, Umar is a whole diva stuck on his menstrual cycle. And then I'm saying,
like, I cannot see him actually having a conversation with a woman without talking that, oh, I gotta talk this. I'm fighting for our boys. I love the boys. Like, I'm sorry that your dad wasn't there for you, man. But like, and then when he said the goons, that, like, my boy was like, you better stop going by his school, man. Umar gonna get you. I'm like, man, he don't want these problems, man.
Yeah.
My friends wouldn't even take him serious. If I call him right now and be like, oh man, Umar's gonna get me, they're gonna laugh their asses off. Like, cut it out, bro. They said when they seen him in Harlem, they was like, he was tall. They was like, he tall, but they was like, he was very humble. He was not walking around there like he was some super tough guy when they was like, yo, what's up?
He wasn't, man. man, he wasn't raised hardcore. He's not about that life. Okay.
Oh, I was so mad at myself last night.
He's such a punk.
I was so mad at myself last night when I seen that little bit of that, like the joint when he was talking about when he said that shit about his daughter and the no snitching. I was like, I don't want to hear it, man. That's everything I had to know about him. Now he's a sucker and he's a coward.
Yep, he is, and that's why he's not gonna do well when the IRS and the FBI come raining down on his ass.
He gonna be in jail next to Puff. Well, he ain't gonna be next to Puff. Puff got money. He going to population. He going to population. He gonna be in there crying his ass off in that FCI life.
He'll be doing calls to my y'all.
He's gonna be Muslim again. He's gonna be Muslim. Niggas a lot, right?
They're gonna be like, yeah, you gonna eat your cornbread here, man. You can just have it all. Have my whole cornbread. Y'all, I'm up here sharing with I'm up here sharing with my cornbread, y'all. Y'all won't believe it because they poking his ass out in prison.
I'm telling you, man, he gonna be in there like I don't want him to go to jail.
Go get his ass.
But I'm telling you, he just full of it, bro. When I see him, I be like, yo, nobody's scared of you. Like, they're like, I need this dude address. If you know their name and they pay bills, you could have looked it up yourself. But you know, if you go there, he got 5 seconds of wind in him.
Yep.
Like, nobody ain't worry about him. As soon as he come outside, if he come to my house, first off, he ain't never going to nobody else's house after that.
Oh, no.
But I'm gonna make my 9-year-old put on that karate belt and be like, boy, you better show me what my money is doing.
Okay. Whoop his ass, son. Make that.
Yeah, like I get my 9-year-old for you, boy. You ain't hurting nobody, man.
Exactly. It's just gonna be mush. He be kicking in his stomach. You probably when you feel that he just gonna spit up, Swiss rolls.
He looked like he smelled fat. He looked like he smelled fat.
Y'all know Umar smells like a whole roasted pig. Let's not play around with it. A whole roasted pig. He's an entire Thanksgiving dinner. All right, just mushed up into one. Let's get back to it, y'all.
Religion never stopped them from working together. With us, the religion will block us. You're not saved, you're not born again Christian, I can't work with you. I've had people say that to me. You are not a Christian, so I can't work. Muslims, right? You're not a Muslim, you ain't take your shahada? We can't work with you. I was at a meeting one time in Philadelphia at the Garvey House, the UNIA. This is years ago. And one of the leaders of the Islamic community was there from Philadelphia. I believe he's an ancestor now, rest in peace, good guy. But we're sitting in the house of Garvey, and do you know what he told us? This was one of the leaders of the Muslim community, Sunni Orthodox Islamic community. Good guy, nothing negative to say about it. But he hurt my heart when he said this. He turned to the young people. It was a meeting with students from Temple University. We wanted to do something to stop the violence. He said, my religion, this is a black man, my religion does not allow me to be a part of anything that is based on race and excludes any other group from participation. I could have cried. In other words, do you know what you're telling me? Your religion doesn't allow you to prioritize your people's struggle. Your religion don't allow you to work with your people in private to uplift themselves. Everything you do got to be colorblind or you can't be a part of it. I don't see that with Arabs, even if they Muslim. I don't see it with Caucasians, even if they Muslim. I don't see it with Asians, even if they Muslims. So why does it have to be that way with you? Because religion brainwashed us into being colorblind.
But isn't that like the quote unquote perfect world when we all get along and we all share the same opportunity and hopefully...
If you don't understand white supremacy, it's very easy to fall for that. But when you understand white supremacy, you will understand why that can never happen. Remember, biochemically, I understand why white people can't stand us. Because I can reproduce you out of existence. You see that? I understand segregation for white people. If I let you move amongst me and reproduce with my women, you will kill us off. There will be no more white folks.
Literally, yeah.
Because we are genetically recessive. So I understood the racism, but I won't condone the tactics that they employ in order to protect themselves. The lynchings, the killings, the beatings, the denial of opportunity. That's unacceptable. I understand you want to keep yourself to yourself. Because you see, the white man can only reproduce with a white woman. He can't reproduce with no other woman.
And the definition of white is extremely narrow.
Exactly.
Because for instance, like anybody from, like Italians are considered Latin. Like if you look at the sentence, the census, they're not considered European white. Like the definition of European white is very narrow. It's basically anybody west of Italy and it stops at England.
Right.
Because if you're from Italy, Spain, any of those countries, you're not.
I don't think they pieced them out though. They could have changed it. They could have changed it. But when the shop spin, buy a party, you follow me? That's free. Eat good. That's freedom. It ain't about control of institutions. It ain't about control of policies. It ain't about control of systems. It's about pleasure. We have reduced freedom to pleasure, and we have allowed the white man to brainwash us into thinking happiness equates with how much you earn and how much you own. Because guess what? If you don't equate happiness with how much you earn and how much you own, capitalism can exploit you.
Capitalism.
If your definition of happiness has nothing to do with how you look and how you drive, capitalism can't use you. Because remember, under capitalism, you're only useful if you do one of two things. You shop or you work. You follow me? We exploit your labor on the job, or we exploit the paycheck you get from your job. This is why they killed off so many elders during COVID. Elders are useless in capitalism. Why? They don't work no more, and they don't need to buy much.
Right.
So the white man is looking at the elders like, we got all these old people. We can't make them work, and we can't make them buy anything, which means we have to take care of them, kill them off. That's why Italy had the highest COVID mortality rate, because Italy is home to the oldest European population in Europe. So that was a test run. They used Italy to study the COVID to make sure it would work. They don't want to be paying for Social Security for all them elders, so they wipe them out. And they're going to hit them with another wave of it. They don't want no elders for those Social Security because they don't plan on paying no more Social Security. From a purely capitalist perspective, old people are a burden.
And just like that, we're banned from YouTube. The reason why I re-brought up that book is because a guest of ours, Charleston White, mentioned that book to us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And when he was speaking, he made a very controversial statement. He stated that in order for black people to get better again, they would have to go through slavery.
No.
He said black people were strongest when they came out of slavery.
So that's the only time they work together.
I would say, well, to your point of what you just said, necessity is the mother of invention. There may have never been a Black Wall Street in Tulsa, or a Black Wall Street in Rosewood, Florida, or a Black Wall Street in Charleston, North Carolina, or Charleston, South Carolina, or Wilmington, North Carolina. There may have never been a Black Wall Street if white people allowed us to participate in their society. Necessity, the mother of invention. You couldn't go to their schools, you had to make your own. You follow me? You couldn't work at their businesses, you had to make your own.
Right.
So would we have created these great black communities if white people never segregated us? I don't know if we would have.
Right. I mean, to Charleston's point, what I think he was getting at was that in the antebellum period, right after slavery, that generation was extremely prosperous. And that's where the Black Wall Street and the Rosewoods and all that came from. And the reaction was the Jim Crow laws, which led to segregation and so on and so forth.
But again, we were so focused after slavery because we understood white supremacy.
Right.
Right? So number one, you had the consciousness. And number two, you had the work ethic. Right? You didn't have all the schisms and isms you got amongst us now. There was no stratification of oppression. Everybody was broke. Everybody could be hung by the Klan. Everybody was unemployed. Everybody's children need to be taught how to read. You follow me?
Right.
Today we have stratification of oppression. You got upper middle class blacks, you got middle class blacks, you got millionaire blacks, you got billionaire blacks, right? So if the white man's saying, we about to do something to the five of them brothers in that room, he might say, wait a minute, I got a little bit more to lose than him. You feel me? I'm gonna try to talk this out.
Right.
And he like, I got a little bit more to lose than him. I'm like, you follow what I'm saying? Right. So black people don't move out on blackness no more. They look at their social economic position first. And then they decide what they're gonna do as a result of that. There was no upper middle class,
right.
working class. Everybody was the formerly enslaved class.
Right.
You see that? So the unity was automatically there. But again, if white people did not deny us the opportunity to participate in this society, would we have built Tulsa? I don't know. All of those cities were the result of the fact that we were segregated out of white life. Now, since desegregation has come, we ain't built a Black Wall Street nowhere. And then you get black people who say, well, desegregation destroyed us. I understand what you're saying, but what you're also saying is we need white people to separate us again in order for us to do for ourselves. I got a problem with that. You follow what I'm saying? People say they need to separate us again. Why does your enemy have to deny you the right to live amongst them in order for you to do right by yourself? Nobody's stopping us from building our own communities right now. You got over 10 cities for sale in this country right now. There's over 10 cities, the whole city for sale. As little as 250,000, 500,000. You got Hell, Michigan for sale. There's cities all over America. Everything's there for you. The post office, the hospital. You got to clean it up, fix it up, build it up. But it's there. If we wanted to be independent, we could. We full of shit. We're not looking for free.
No, Umar's full of shit. And I want to be clear on that. Umar's full of shit. We're still waiting on receipts for him to open a school. And let's not forget, he did an interview where he said he had only planned on opening the smaller school while still raising money for 2 buildings. So if anyone's full of shit, it's Umar. Y'all, we have some Umar Tardians up in the chat.
See, they up there arguing about his smell. Like,
I know,
when
right?
I say look like he
Umar
smells
Tardians up in the
fat,
chat.
it's
Let's
like
welcome
he
them
looks
in.
sweaty. You know, like
I said he looks like he smells like burnt pig feet and hog maws, and I mean it, and I don't ever have to be near him. The end. Why? No one needs to be around him. Y'all sound crazy. Oh no! Can you send me the actual school website link? African Love NOLA. To all the Umar Tardians, send me the school website link. And an active permit of him getting any job done on any school.
What's the name?
Oh, also a copy of that tax statement he promised you all for all the donors and contributors. He said he would give you all tax statements. I want a copy of the tax statement. I want to know the school website. I want the website link.
Fresh
I want
from
documentation evidence. Like these people are coming in.
He said, I bet you know. He said, I bet you know how y'all smell at work online when nobody's around. Motherfucker, I work in an office with women, around women. That damn sure.
It's just my smells here.
Yeah, like, all right, with women, they damn sure let you know if you smell.
Umar look greasy with his dirty ass fingernails. Look at that. I would clown him all day. They really think that this stops people from talking about him. No, it doesn't. It does nothing.
Yeah, he spits truth to hide his lies. He said he owns this channel.
Does he?
Y'all can talk. Oh, that's Boss Lady. You got a name like what? Why y'all don't put y'all picture up there? I show my face because I want y'all
I'll
to see.
obsessed with him. Oh no. The fact that you're coming into this video to leave that comment, I think. Hit the like button while you here.
I'm obsessed with Umar, if that's what you want to call. I talk about everybody though. You would hate to see me in real life because I talk crazy in real life.
To the Umar Tardians, I told you all what they do. They just copy paste, rinse and repeat. They just post in the same comments because they have this hive mentality. They don't think outside the box, and they will never give you any evidence. I'm asking for a website link. I want the website link to his school. What is the school website? He smells amazing. Great. What is the school website link?
That's a dude. Umar probably got a bunch of.
He got a bunch of dudes up in here talking about how he smells and how he look, and y'all want me to sit here and take Umar seriously when he talk about women? Stop it.
Listen, I like the trolls because the trolls are so stupid. They tell on themselves. Yeah, because the more that you like comment, it's gonna like push it out to the algorithm. Oh yeah, and that stream element, I signed up to account, so that's like my chat bot that keep dropping in there.
Oh, okay, cool. Listen,
I'll send you links on how to do that too.
Absolutely, please.
I didn't know it worked on StreamYard. That's all like, oh,
does it? If not, then there has to be a way for me to be able to do it with YouTube, and we'll.
No, it links to YouTube for you. Like I think you put it in your YouTube. I'll have to look at it again, and I'll email to you how to do it because it like every time you go live, it'll automatically post like links for you, however you want it set up.
Okay, cool.
So it could do like give me a tip, and it'll go to your PayPal and stuff.
Okay, cool. Please email it to me so I can have that set up. So that way you guys can be reminded to hit the like button.
Yeah.
The Cash App is flowing below for the Umar Tardians because you guys love giving away your hard-earned money.
How do you say
your bots? I mean, I don't care either way, but
hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App.
Cash App.
Give me your grits money, your Jordan money.
We have a $25 goal in the live here for the Lady Luck Club that goes towards the expenses of the channel. Y'all, I got 2 boxes that came in from Amazon. I think one of them is lighting. Shout out to oh man, one of you guys sent me the messages on it. I'm trying to scroll up. Look at all these weirdos. The wolves.
Yeah, I see they.
Wolves sent me a heads up saying that it was something delivered. I know Brother Malik said he was going to grab something. Y'all, the wish list was posted on the channel for Amazon. We're trying to upgrade the $400 studio, and my lights had broken, so that's why my camera's not on. But now that we have at least a light, I can get back on camera, so these Umar Tardians can see my face and know.
Yeah,
I don't really care about your copy and pasting and all of that. I just enjoy you all keeping up my engagement rate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got
I'm
ready to cut off my background, but I got it through my my GPU, so I don't even got a green screen up. It's doing it through the computer. But my house is clean. I ain't got no choice.
Listen here. Okay.
My wife wouldn't even play that shit.
Okay. Keep a house, clean life. You can sleep well at night. Unlike Umar, who has nothing but junk and hoards, just all kinds of stuff. Y'all seen that school gym. We've all seen the gym. We all know what it looks like there. He had to scrub with his hands in a toilet filled with fecal matter. Where were the Umar Tardians at? Why y'all not helping him clean out that gym? Shame on you all for leaving him hanging with all that nasty stuff in that gym. Y'all want to see him talk about somebody obsessed? Help him go clean up their school and create a website for the schooling. We'll wait for the school link, by the way. I'm still
Who
waiting
is
on
that?
James Miller to email me
Double.
the vendors and the contract information, because he said he would send it. Where you at, James Miller? I've even dropped the link for these clowns and they don't even want to come on.
Look, and they up here going hard too.
Yeah, just keep obsessed with him. Okay. Are you still copy and pasting? Can you say anything else? Are you
boss lady
to say this?
Is Umar.
Boss lady. Umar. Why would you call yourself boss lady?
Because his bounce back. He said my bounce back. Oh shit, we been past
Umar's his inner feminism. His inner feminism is coming out, y'all. Umar, just because you on your menstrual cycle don't mean you got to come over here talking about some damn obsession.
Yeah, it's a couple of them up here commenting hard too.
Talk about everybody. Yeah, they keeping up my engagement rate. We all good with that. I tell my moms, don't ban them unless they start cussing or something like that. You know, just saying nasty, crazy.
The neon
stuff.
is fake.
I don't ban them. Who?
Neon. Somebody they said they like the neon in my background. That's fake. That's a picture I made.
Yeah, it's a screen, right?
Nah, it's a picture, and then on like I got like a gaming computer, but I don't game. But the GPU can do like content creation, and with the NVIDIA, you can remove your background ad. You can do everything through that. So I just did the design work online.
Some of them are coming in from your channel too, boy. You got them stick over there, boy. Good grief.
I didn't know that you could talk back and forth to Chat GPT. So I was having a debate with my wife, and I was like, Chat GPT, and you asked the question, she won though. But of
course we're gonna win the argument.
Yeah, she would. I felt like she set me up. She already knew before we started.
Shout out to Uncle Mo's wife for winning the argument as always. Yeah. Y'all, let's get back to it while the Umar Tardians are having a tantrum. We're gonna let them spaz it out.
We're looking for more comfortability under oppression. Follow me?
Right.
I don't mind white people being in charge. I just want to be more comfortable. As long as you give me a few more niceties, you can keep on running the country. I don't care. We're not serious. We haven't, look, it's been 57 years since Dr. King. We haven't had a significant, sustained, protracted movement for change in this country since Dr. King. 57 years. We are not serious. Think about that. Black people don't want to be free. Some of us do. Most of us don't. We don't want the responsibility of freedom. What if the white man came to Fort Lauderdale right now and said, listen, y'all, I'm tired of y'all complaining about white supremacy. We leaving Fort Lauderdale. It's y'all's. And we ain't helping you do nothing, but everything is here. Black folks will go get them white folks and tell them to come back. We ain't trying to run them hospitals. We ain't trying to run that school system. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't want the responsibility for all the single moms, the homeless people. We don't want that. We're too selfish. We're interested in ourselves. Not everybody, but a lot of us. And that's why I'm starting with the school, because you got to change the way we think collectively. The collective consciousness has to shift, and that can only be done with education. Our most progressive time since the great empires of Africa was 1800 to 1899. The 19th century, 1800 to 1899 was the greatest century for black people since the fall of the great African empires. We did more of that century than any other time during these 400 or 500 years. Shaka Zulu, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Elijah Muhammad, Haitian Revolution. You follow what I'm saying? Look at all your great leaders and events. Most of them was between 1800 and 1899. The leaders were born during that time. We got out of slavery during that time. You follow what I'm saying?
Crazy.
That was the greatest, and I mean globally too. Whether you go to Africa, whether you go to the Caribbean, whether you're here in the States, from 1800 to 1899, that was our greatest period. And then after that, we began to wane off. Because the more we got acclimated to white society, white consciousness, the more we started losing ourselves. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when we talk about desegregation, black people keep talking about put us back in segregation, right? Because deseg hurt us. And nobody forced you to desegregate, by the way. All the government did was remove the barriers to access. They desegregated. They never integrated. Do you feel me?
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
They said you can go to the white hospital. They didn't make you go to the white hospital. We gave up the black hospital. We gave up the black schools. We gave up the black supermarkets. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
The white man did not force you. He simply removed the barriers to access. We voluntarily gave up what we had. It's the mindset. It's the mindset. Change it, and you got to do that with the children.
What do they say about, like, it's not let them eat cake, but it's like give them sports. What is it? It's like let them have the things, and they'll forget about the macro.
The sports and entertainment hurt us a lot too, and I'm gonna tell you why. If we didn't have as many athletes and entertainers as we do now, the racism would be more obvious. The athletes and entertainers are the argument that the white man uses to say, we're not keeping you down. You follow me?
Because we let you.
You have a billionaire, you have a billionaire, you have a millionaire, but what they're not focusing on, all these rich blacks, the celebrities and the entertainers, those are not high opportunity careers. Do you follow what I'm saying? If I want to be a doctor, all I got to do is study and pass the test. If I want to be a basketball player, it's more than just talent. You follow what I'm saying? I got to be at the right place at the right time, impress the right person. You see what I'm saying?
Genetic predisposition.
You have a greater chance of being struck by lightning than becoming a multi-million-dollar athlete entertainer. So you can't hold that up and say everybody could be a Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, LeBron James. No, they can't.
Right.
No, they can't. That's not realistic. You're not going to eliminate poverty by telling people to go and try to be a LeBron, a Tyler Perry, or a Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But they'll use them as examples of Black progress, while at the same time not pointing out the fact that these are very difficult industries to break into.
Facts.
And by the way, we no longer have an academic gatekeeping elite. The Negro aristocracy is no longer dominated by academicians. 50 years ago, it was the presidents of the universities. It was the politicians. It was the preachers. They ran the show. They were the Black bourgeoisie. They don't hold no weight no more. What scholar you know college students are listening to find out how they're going to think on certain political issues? They don't listen to them.
They listen to YouTubers and shit.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Think about it. What Black pastor holds sway over Black youth?
None.
What Black politician holds sway over Black youth? Name an elected official that holds sway over Black youth. None of them. So now,
you think Obama once had that for a bit?
Obama a little bit. There you go. Obama a little bit. But it's over with.
Yeah.
So guess what the new bourgeoisie is? The same people our children look up to. The athletes and the entertainers are the new Black bourgeoisie. They are the new gatekeepers. And when America tells them to take a certain position on something, they're going to take it. Because if you notice, most of our athletes and entertainers, they're not revolutionary. You have your David Banner, you have your Killer Mike, you have your...
Okay, what did you think about that, Mo?
Yeah, he just... At 1800 to 1899, I don't want to go back. I'm glad I wasn't part of none of that stuff. Like, he's bugging with that. Like,
he couldn't even give us anything relevant in this century.
Yeah, and then like, Elijah Muhammad wasn't born into slavery and shit. Like he just be making up stuff, man. And it sound good to people that don't know. And he said Shaka Zulu. What the hell do Shaka Zulu got to do with American Blacks over here? Like, he just be talking. And they just sitting there eating that stuff up, man. And they look like they mixed.
That's what I'm saying. Aren't they
Ain't they Dominican?
What are they, like the Dominican or something like that? Like they can't fully comprehend everything he's saying because they haven't. You can tell what they probably know about Black history is what they were forced to learn in school, and if they remember that, they probably wouldn't know anything beyond that. They wouldn't know about all the Black towns that were wiped out, that are still underwater, or Black towns that were wiped out during segregation in the early 1900s that were extraordinarily successful, but because a white person could accuse a Black person of doing something, and then they go in and destroy they destroyed the entire town. And you're talking about majority Black town where they had schools and banks and homes, and they were prospering and flourishing on their own primarily. So he's not even talking about that. He couldn't get past 1899.
Yeah,
and that's the craziness of it all. It's like you have so many Black inventors, investors, trendsetters that were out there that were born after 1900. You're not going to address any of those. You're not going to recognize any of them, except for Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and who else? Maybe Marcus Garvey. Like, he's not addressing anybody after that era.
Yeah, then you got Louis Farrakhan. Listen, I don't even really like Al Sharpton. I don't agree with him, but I actually seen him do stuff for the community in New York.
Exactly.
And I just feel like, he scams too. I can't even say he scams, but he drains money out of the community. But I seen him put back into. But Umar, he makes no sense. Hey, none of us if they leave us Florida today, none of us gonna scream, please come back. Please, nobody going. First off, a lot of them ain't gonna leave. They got so many interracial relationships down there. Half of them ain't even gonna leave. Nobody trying to hear that shit. Like he's so out of touch with the world.
Exactly, and no one's gonna follow him anywhere. He can't even open a school. He doesn't even want to have resources and people around him that will help him open one school in the city of Wilmington. Like that is how useless he is right now. All he's good for is running his mouth. He could just go and do podcasting and just be a content creator, or go and just do public speaking. Why continue the visage of this school?
If he would have did, like, if he would have monetized himself without talking so crazy, he could have made enough money. I'll say in a year that he could have got both them schools up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to think, people, we all look and laugh at him, the stupidity that he said. Off of YouTube, if he get in the guidelines, he could have easily pulling like 20, 30,000 a month.
Yeah. But that requires him to get on YouTube, actually create content or say something where he doesn't end up repeating himself. Because that's what I'm starting to notice in this, is whatever this interview, the softball nonsense is with the Danza Project. It gets to a point where he starts to say the same things. He's just recycling the words and putting them in a different order. Mm-hmm. Because the whole point is, this is why you shouldn't sleep with white women. This is why we have to come together. This is why I can't be married, because, you know, I need somebody to hold me down. Women are jealous. Women are this, women are that. But he's not saying anything positive about this. Is why I say he hates women too. He's not saying anything positive. He has nothing to offer a woman. He couldn't even offer a job. He doesn't even have income coming in. And then when it comes to anything regarding the school, he can't answer one question other than him saying something about floors, which is not something based on the videos we've seen that school need immediately, not before you treat mold. So he's the same old nonsense he's been saying for the last 6.5 years. He's saying it now. The same stuff he said in the Jamar interview, he's saying it now. And you're talking about 5 years later.
Yeah.
That's where we at now.
He's sad, man, because when you hear him talk about it, that's why I honestly, and I was looking into making a video on how he don't like black women. He says that stuff, but he don't like black women, because as soon as it's a black woman that goes against anything or question him about something, he says the most vile, disgusting things about them.
Exactly.
Like, and he goes online and people do it. But one thing I will say about our women, why Umar became how he is, because he had disrespected one voice, but then he'll big him up in another voice by downing somebody, and they run with that. Oh, it's not my fault that we're single. It's they gave us bad options. No.
Yeah.
You pick some of these dudes like Umar and some dudes that's not, and it's crazy. And then he keeps saying about single mothers. It's a difference between being a single mom and being a single parent. Because if you got the father there and y'all just not together, you're a single mom, you're not a single parent, you know?
Right.
Because most of the time the father's there, y'all just not together. And they don't count those numbers in.
Yeah, exactly. My ex-husband and I co-parent. My boys need their father in their life. Yeah. So, you know, he thinks that, you know, and this is how he views the women that come around, you know, that still sit here and, you know, fall into his trance or whatever, you know, especially the ones that are still willing to sit back and say after 6.5 years of him not opening a school, they will still send their child to that school. It's those women that are trying to defend him that will send their child to his school that are the ones that they don't, you can tell they're not in tune to what's really going on with their children. If you're not even asking questions like, why would you tell a parent to stop giving their child medication?
Yeah,
then I can't see how you could ever take your child's education seriously, you know, and let your child go to a school he still has yet to open. He couldn't even put up a website for it. What is the curriculum that they're going to learn? What are they going to be learning at this school?
He about to go on chat GPT because he watched that last episode y'all did, so he gonna go in there and get his curriculum. He gonna talk about
right? Let's not help him out now, y'all.
Yeah, that's what he gonna do. This whole drink gonna be taught by Gemini, Chat GPT.
I know.
DeepSeek is
pulled it up like, oh no, let's not help his ass out. No, he needs to do this stuff himself. He needs to, figure out what a curriculum is going to be. He hasn't hired any teachers, any counselors, anyone to even help him draft a curriculum. That's why he could not give that person that asked for a curriculum a copy of it, because it never existed.
And I can't even see them asking for, like, some stuff. It would make sense if he was going through it alone. If he had a loan, I could see them asking to see all this stuff. But if you go in cash, once they sell a building, they don't care. So I don't think he was trying to buy the building. He probably was trying to lease the buildings.
Oh yeah,
because he be switching up his stories too. So
exactly. He literally said when he did, and I went over this interview he did with Baba Yaga, whatever Moses, that dude he calls dad.
Yeah.
He said that he
was
had
so soft.
Yeah, this another dude, grown man that lets another grown man whine and cry for an hour about nothing. So he said flat out he had only intended on opening the smaller school, and not one time did the guy say, well, why are you raising money for 2 schools if you're only trying to open one? And it's the smaller of the 2. Then he said that a brand new Mercedes-Benz SUV, and if y'all in the Lady Luck Club, y'all remember that? The Luck's just here. Remember that a couple days ago, he said that a brand new SUV, Mercedes-Benz SUV, drove into the gym, was set on fire, and no police report, no fire report, nothing. And he got a call. You mean to tell me a brand new Mercedes-Benz SUV drives into a small gym and is set on fire, and you don't have a police or fire report? Nothing.
And I don't see I was there, so I would have seen some you'd have seen some evidence that a car was crashed. It don't look like. First off, it got them big ass rocks right there, so even to get up where it's at, unless they come straight where that stupid mirror was at, it couldn't have happened unless they came from the side. But he need to take himself off that mirror though, because he shouldn't be up there with
not at all
with none of them people. You know,
none of them.
Because even though Marcus Garvey ain't get these motherfuckers to Africa, he did have stores and schools and. Like all these people that stole before him, they actually gave something back too. You know, they preachers. They them preachers.
Even Charles Ponzi, was able to help the community, and he got whole Ponzi schemes named after him. And he owned a bank. He controlled the bank. So,
he mad at the Muslims because they said he mad at the Muslims because they said they don't want to be racist.
Oh God.
They didn't want to put black first. You ain't putting black first. You put Umar. You put Jermaine first.
Exactly. And all he does is dog out blacks, just like the Umar Tardians in the chat. Shout out to them. All they're doing is dogging out 2 black content creators. That's all they're doing. They're proving to be the biggest hypocrites on earth. Is dogging out other black people, and for what? It doesn't help you pay your rent because It doesn't even bother. It's like it's not even bothering. What is bothering me though, y'all? Let's not go in and attack Lene Stacks for any reason.
Who's attacking her?
I'm saying. I
know it ain't Boss Lady. Comments. I'm saying. No. I think that's Umar. Because Umar, they say the same stuff. Too,
don't come for Lene Stacks. That's gonna get you booed out. You don't sit here and make someone feel bad for having dated someone. And when they realize who they are, now it's like,
listen, we all dated that wrong person.
Are you kidding?
We all did that.
Who hasn't dated someone they regret dating? There are plenty of people I regret meeting and then date them. What the hell?
Yeah,
we don't make somebody feel bad for that. If that's what you're gonna sit here and engage in, I'm not gonna allow someone to just be harassed with that nonsense. Get the hell out of my chat if you're gonna do that.
They act like if you didn't know that. I'm not gonna sit here and have
her attack for that. Like that is absolutely asinine. Don't act as if you've never made a bad decision in your life, or you dated someone you realize this person's a piece of shit and I'm breaking up with him. That's what it comes down to. Umar is the type of person where he can talk and swindle. If you don't really know who he is, you're talking about, well, how long ago? 5-6 years ago? It's just a matter of, okay, getting to know him and realizing he's a fucking bum. Then you break up with him. You don't sit here and attack that person for that. But you won't attack him for sitting here trying to say that it's okay to look at 16-year-old girls because they're growing, into their bodies. Or to only see women as 5'5" thick in the thighs. See, I don't care. The Umar Tardians are going to just copy, paste, and repeat because they're brainless morons. But I don't expect anyone to attack someone because they dated him And now they're saying he's a horrible person and he's scamming. I could say that and I don't have to meet him. I never have to meet Umar face to face and say he's a damn scammer and he's a dumbass one at that. Then
the interview I seen that she did, I felt like she could have went a lot harder on him and she spared him.
Yeah. Like she doesn't even, Lene doesn't even attack him. She just tells the truth about him. If anything, I'm a gut punch his chocolate-filled belly ass. I'm gonna sit there and keep going until I see a school website. Like, he won't even deliver the most basic of things that he should be delivering when it comes to opening up a school. But he wants to sit here and say nobody understands how business works. Really? Most people who are serious about a business in general know that you at least have a business card or website. I don't care if it's through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, something where people can go and gather information. How are you going to enroll these kids in this school again, Umar? I don't expect the Umar Tardians to answer that because they're not that smart. But I do expect, like, you know, if you're sitting here saying we all can agree he's scamming people, let's stick to the basics and stick to the point of the discussion about why is he still doing it after 6.5 years? Bottom line, that's it. Why is he still at this with this stupid scam for 6.5 years? And his name is not even listed on the deed for the buildings. That's all I'm saying. How is that tax firm being paid again? Oh, and he yet again used $68,600 to pay off his personal legal settlement with Marianne Lorien. This is where donation dollars are going because of his dumbass. Because he decided to file a slap suit, $500,000 against someone because she wanted to do a film about him. He invoked himself in the film. Then he said he didn't like it because he's a diva and a drama queen. And now he wants to sue for intellectual property, but he wants to sit here and talk about how all these musicians died because they wouldn't give up their music rights. He's sitting here trying to wreak havoc and rake black people over the coals. So until he's taken down by some federal agency and investigated as he should be, I'm keeping my foot on his neck. His mother's sitting in a house where he can't even get the siblings, the grandchildren, her siblings can't even see her. I'm keeping my foot on his neck. Now y'all can run back and tell him that. All the Umar Tardians, run back and tell him that. Period. Lady Luck Club's keeping her foot on his neck. Bottom line. Anything else you want to add, Uncle Mo?
They don't got to tell him. His spirit guardian going to tell him.
Goody goo.
Yeah, Goody goo got him. I want to see him do 10,000 steps.
He said, I'm going to check out that alien. He's talking about he was having dreams.
Man, when I see that, I said he can't be serious, man. Why is he saying this out loud, man?
He's such a goon. All right, let's get back to it, y'all.
Yeah, you got a few of them, right? But most of them do not get involved in any radical politics. They are very conservative. You feel me? Because they don't want nothing to mess up that bag.
And even when they do, it's at the height of their success.
Yes. They all controlled by white folks.
When you were mentioning black couples, one of the couples that you mentioned with Cardi B and Offset.
Yes.
Cardi B is Trinidadian and Dominican.
Okay.
I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican.
Okay.
When you think about the Latino community, what is your thoughts on that as far as everything?
It's diverse, like the rest of the race. So my great-grandfather was Cuban, right? Spanish-speaking Cuban. I met him on his deathbed many years ago. I know Puerto Ricans who identify with the African race. I know many more who don't. I know Dominicans who identify with the African race. I know many more who don't. Trinidadians, right? Generally, they will identify with the African race, right? So you really have to ask, right? I don't make assumptions. When I meet Latino men and women, I ask them, how do you identify? Some will tell you, I identify more with the indigenous people. Some will tell you, I identify more with Spain and Spanish, right? And then some will tell you, I'm black, my ancestors black, I identify with Africa. So you got to ask, because Latino is not a race, it's a culture, it's an ethnicity. So you have to inquire who they identify with.
And so we know that the famous narrative, the big argument with Ish, right? The snow bunnies.
Okay.
So when it comes to a Latino, if you see a black man dating a Latino woman,
does she identify as African full time? Would be the question. Because I've dated Latino women, right? And once I came to realize that you don't really identify with the African race, I had to end the relationship. You see what I'm saying? So, and brothers text me all the time, right? Oh, I'm taking a Latino woman. Is that okay, Doc? Am I bunny hopping? How does she identify? Travis Hunter's wife. She showed her mother. I don't know if y'all seen her mother.
No.
Chocolate. The mother chocolate.
I didn't expect that.
I forget her ethnic, but what is his, is she Dominican? What is?
I don't know what she is.
Travis Hunter's wife. Look that up real quick. But the mother is chocolate. Latino, but clearly Afro-Latino. Darker than me.
Yeah.
Darker than me. But guess what? I don't think she raised her daughter to be an African Latino. I've never heard.
She's part black and Filipino.
Black, Mexican, Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay. Part black, Filipino. And you said Mexican?
Yeah.
The mother chocolate, but she's not an American African chocolate. You feel me? She's like a Latina chocolate. But my point is, even though her mother's black, clearly, Travis Hunter's wife, I don't believe identifies as a black woman, as an African woman, as an African Latina, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't raised by her mother to identify with the African race. That's why for me, to determine whether or not you're African, I have to know, first of all, are you biologically black, right? Direct African ancestry, but are you psychologically black? Take Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice. That man don't identify with black people. You feel me? He blue black, but I don't consider him African because he's biologically black, but he ain't psychologically black at all. At all. So for me, the rules don't change whether you Latino, whether you American African, whether you continental African, whether you Caribbean African. Just because you got my skin don't mean nothing if you ain't got my consciousness. It got to be both.
So they got to relate to Africans to be African. Then what about people who don't have chocolate skin that relate to that are actually born in the continent of Africa? Because Africa is a continent, not a country. What if they were born in anywhere in Africa and they consider themselves to be Africans and they have the mentality of an African? So, I mean, which one is it? Is it based on skin color or mentality here? How's this going?
And then if you was in the Caribbean and like my family from Grenada and Jamaica and stuff, but it's like, so if you Cuban and you Afro-Cuban, if I identify with Cuba because I speak Spanish and everything, now I'm not black because of that. Like he keep moving the goalposts. And then when was he ever Cuban? Now all of a sudden he Cuban?
Who, child? Is Umar? I think he has some sort of Cuban background of some sort. I
think that's what he just said, that his grandfather or grandmother was Cuban.
So now what, he gonna relate to Cubans? Is that why he's on the Danza project?
Yeah, like it's something to do with him all the time.
None of this happened.
And that's a good point. Elon is African, so because he's a white African, what did he relates to being from South Africa? So I don't know, like, and then you go to Africa, each country got a different way about it. Because South Africa, they look at what they call the mulattoes, colored folks. And then they got that black, like it's so many different ways that they break it down that we not even aware of, that it's like he's all over the place when he talks about this stuff. Exactly. You know who Umar is? You ever seen Don't Be a Menace by Drinking Your Juice in the Hood? He that dude in the movie. Dude in jail. He the one in jail though. That was like red fish, two fish. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. While he cooking bacon. That's him.
Yep. Y'all know he eat hog maw and pig feet.
Oh, you can tell. You can tell.
He emanates hog maw and pig feet. Okay. All right, let's get back to it.
Now talking about American African, and when we're in America, the word that gets thrown out a lot when it comes to struggle and how we get out the struggle, reparations. Do you feel that is a real possibility?
It absolutely is, but not without unity. We'll never get reparations without unity. And if we do get it, it will be a fraction of what you're entitled to. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Because here's the thing. Any disorganized people can be exploited by more organized people. So you have a reparations organization. He has a reparations organization. You got one. He got one. We got 5 different reparations organizations. So guess what I'm going to do if I'm the United States government? I'm going to cooperate with the one who's giving me the easiest package. Right. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to be exploited and played off. Now, if I was in charge of the reparations movement, a couple things. Number one, if you're a bunny hopper, you ain't getting no reparations at all. You're not going to take my ancestors' pay and take it right back to the damn Neanderthal queen. We're not doing that. So any iteration, you're banned from getting it, right? And here's another thing. When Negroes say, we need to be segregated again, we did better. Does that also mean you want to give your white wife back? Because that was part of the segregation. You feel me? They say, we need to be segregated again because we did better under segregation. That means you have to give your snow bunny back. Or are you going to do that? Hell no, so shut up. You don't want segregation back because she got to go back. Remember, Loving versus Virginia was 1967. That's when the Supreme Court outlawed interracial bans on interracial marriage. That was all part of the Civil Rights era. Right. So you can't say put me back in segregation, but let me keep my white girl. All or nothing. They're not going to give up that white girl. In fact, a lot of them Negroes fought for deseg so they can desegregate the pale vagina. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck, right? So we're going to the reparations. No bunny hoppers get money. But this is what I would require on my reparations demand list. Control of all black music forever. No Jewish companies or any other company can sell it, market it, produce it.
Game over.
You follow me? The music is ours. Because black music is one of America's largest export industries. If we control our music, we can build Black Wall Street in every city. That's how popular black music is on the world stage. I want Michael Jackson's music, Prince's music, Tupac's music. You follow what I'm saying? All of it. From the beginning, all of it. Nobody but us. Game over. Number 2, America has natural resources. She sells energy, she sells oil, she sells gold. She got about 10 strong natural resources that she sells. We get a 25% cut forever. 25% cut forever. Number 3, there are 10 states that make up 60% of the black population in America. All of them are seaboarding states. California, Florida, Texas, Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland. There's about 10 of them. We own the major seaport in all 10 of the cities where we predominate. Anything coming in, we get paid. Anything going out, we get paid. The only one that's not on the sea is Illinois, but you still have the Great Lake out there. That's the 3rd. Number 4, all black inventions. Everything we ever invented becomes a permanent patent. You can't use it unless you pay us for it. That's the technology for the cell phone. That's the technology for the internet. That's the refrigerator truck.
Be there all day.
You feel me, right? The lights, right? It was Lewis Latimer, even though the white man is given credit for discovering the light, it was Lewis Latimer who came up with that incandescent bulb so they don't blow out or run out. That's the reason why you can turn on the lights all night. That's us. So all the inventions got to come to us. Another one is land. All the land that was stolen from black people during slavery, during Reconstruction, pre-civil rights, and black power, because y'all know they stole hundreds of thousands of acres of land from us. Put together a research team, find out all that land that was stolen from us, we get it all back. If we can get all the land back that we lost, we have enough land to do everything we want. And this is perfect timing. Why? Because we got the highest black homelessness rate in this country since Dr. King walked the earth. Homelessness is, and it's mostly single black mothers with children, nowhere to live, right? Getting priced out of the hood because of gentrification, putting them on the street. The moratoriums on COVID is over. The rent moratorium, somebody said you can't evict nobody, that's over. They evicted everybody. Give us all the land back that y'all stole. Those will be some of the things that's at the top of my list. Now notice I didn't mention cash. And I didn't mention cash money on purpose because cash runs out. The benefit of slavery to America can never expire. So whatever you give me as restitution can likewise never expire. Why would I accept a cash payout for slavery when this country will always benefit from what they did to us? That money will run out. I don't know if y'all remember a couple years ago, Bob Johnson, former owner of BET, who sold it to Viacom for $2 billion. He came up with a reparations plan. He said every black person should get $350,000 apiece. He's a billionaire. And this is the ridiculous solution he had. Give every black person $300. Is that even a house down here?
No.
Is that a house in the car? I don't think you can get a house in the car. No. Why would I accept that for reparations?
The cars they're buying, it's over. It's gone to money.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you? Because we think about money too much. And if all we want is money, nothing changes. Because most of the problems that we got can't just be fixed with money. They have to be fixed with money and power and organization. So we let them.
Let's let them
not
keep
to mention
digging.
the American dollar doesn't have a mineral equivalent. It's not on the gold.
What'd you say?
Nah, I was letting him dig it up because he's like,
Oh God.
I wrote a whole report on this shit for my last class. And I agree with everything shouldn't be cash, but I also agree that I feel once you're a certain age, you ain't gonna live long enough. But all this land he's saying that we had, even when the 40 acres and a mule came, that was in South Carolina. And they took it right back after Lincoln got killed. Like he'd be talking this stuff, but he used part of the truth to say his life. Like, I live at the seaport in Virginia. We ain't the majority down here. This ain't majority black people. It might be more black people in Norfolk than it is in Virginia Beach, but he's crazy. And out here, he just ridiculous. Texas damn sure ain't more black people than white people in Texas.
I mean, the fact that he's talking about reparations and all this other stuff, when the last time he's had a job was when? He doesn't even add to our economy.
Like 15 years, yeah. At least.
I mean, there's no documented income source for him where he has actually worked and earned wages and had taxes paid. He can't pay taxes. He doesn't have an income.
He should be paying for them speeches. I wonder how much they paid him to come on here.
That's my whole thing. So if he's doing these tours, because I think the rest of this video, he doesn't talk about anything else related to that school. So yeah, the rest of this whole interview is about everything else except the actual school itself. He says nothing else about the school.
I know when they ask him about that no snitching shit, it pissed me off because he lies about everything. He think everything came out of Pan-Africanism and stuff. But when he said if his daughter was violated, he'd tell her not to help. not to cooperate because he's scared that somebody will hurt him and all this stuff. Man, somebody do anything to my daughter, I will burn for eternity, and I will burn down the earth before that shit. And nobody from the streets subscribes to that type of behavior. Like, we're not hiding nobody for that, you know? Talk about he's going to tell his thugs and they're going to come get me. No, they won't. So if they really subscribe to that code, they're going to want to get him too. Like, and I'm like, if you ain't going to really to crash out for your family, you ain't doing nothing for nobody else. Like,
exactly. There's nothing he could actually help. And that's the thing, you know, between him sitting here talking about reparations when he doesn't pay taxes, he has no job. So he expects the government to just give him some money when he probably will not be able to trace his roots back to slavery.
He can if he's Cuban.
I mean,
he could chase it to the Caribbean slave trade, but he can't. He wouldn't be able to trace it back to American, except for he's still on his father's side. But we don't know what's true with that because then his father take the DNA test and it said that he's not related to the Bailey, so it's like
he did it. The Douglas, Frederick Douglas.
Yeah,
because he kept saying he was related to Frederick Douglass, and then turns out genetically he wasn't. But he doesn't even things like that where you could easily get the documentation. He could show, okay, I'm not related to Frederick Douglass. They had to take him to court, get a gag order against him saying that because he kept lying about it. So the things that can be proven and documented, he still lies about it. He lies against documentation and evidence. That's what's so crazy. And, you know, miss me with this whole, what you expect and demand when you're not putting back anything into society. You doing tours and speaking engagements, the money you're getting, he's probably doing this under, you know, being self-employed. But when is the last time he filed taxes?
Yeah, and he make up these stories too. That's why I feel like it was a scam from the beginning. He was like, "Yes, I am related to the Honorable Marcus Garvey. I go to the what he said. I go to the thing every 2 years. And why you ain't got no family pictures? Who goes to a family reunion and don't take pictures? Like that'd be the time the whole family together and somebody's gonna snap a picture. That's why he said that. I'm like, how the whole family coming out talking about it? They not, and they be so embarrassed and mad when somebody asks them about him.
I remember when his nephew was on Lynn and Honor, and his nephew said, and Lynn Honor was like, "There's no the DNA test came out said that you guys you're not related to Frederick Douglass." And this is his nephew saying this on Lynn and Honor after the DNA test had been out for a while. You know. It's almost like there's no way you can tell me that you're not paying attention to the information that's being released to, because he talk about struggle streamers all the time, but he's not paying attention to the actual documentation. He lies against the city of Wilmington. He'll lie against court documents. You know, it's like at this point, all he's doing is putting on a show. So if that's what you want to do and get paid for it, why aren't you paying taxes on it? What about the book sales? What about the merchandise? Why aren't you paying taxes like every other, you know, contributing, you know, functioning member of society? Because I hate to think that Pan-Africanism represents you not paying your taxes, you're not getting a job, you're not being responsible and being accountable for anything either. So does that mean you get to just live off for free and you expect people to pay your way? That can't be what, you know, the conscious community or Pan-Africanism represents. And if it is, then I have a whole lot more questions because no one should be into that. It sucks. Taxes do suck. Yeah, exactly, Tavares. But we got to pay them because it contributes to our economy overall. Do you all know how hard of a hit it's taken for the federal government to be shut down?
I see it. Like, look, I was nervous. I was like, I'll get paid. I'll be up here. You gonna see me streaming harder and harder too.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When the federal government is shut down, you got people that aren't able to work. They're not able to earn wages. And then they can't turn around and pay their bills. They can't buy food. You know, that money has to flow back through our economy. It's like economics 101 goes over his head. He learned nothing in school except Marcus Garvey and Frederick Douglass and something. I don't like white people. That's all his mind is on. And that's it. I mean, it's just, this is the extent of his intellect.
But
this
he
is
ride
why I
white
said,
planes, drive white cars.
Yeah.
Bank at white banks. Like, if he really felt like that, he shouldn't stay in hotels or nothing that's not black businesses.
Thank you. Exactly. Because it should be, black power forever, right? That means you should not be eating at Cinnabon. Why are you eating Cinnabon? Don't you learn how to make your own?
I bet you he see that
Cinnabon
right
is not
snow
owned by a
bunny.
black person.
I want him to see the right snow bunny because I don't believe none of that stuff, man. I think it just caught on and he just running with it, man.
Exactly.
He
So
be yelling and screaming
like an idiot. And I want to just get to this portion of the video where, this is the only tag where I see anything else about FDMG. And it's the non-African at school. Like, I guess him not hiring anybody that's not black to work at FDMG. Otherwise, the rest of this interview, I kid you all not, has nothing to do with FDMG at all. Nothing at all. So we're going to check out that portion of it and then, leave it up to comments and questions. Mo give his final thoughts on it and let that be our show for the evening because he doesn't talk about the school. None of this has anything to do with the damn school. So let me get to this part here. Probably have to hear some
to ignore the black women that are around. You never see black men with white girls speak to black women. You ain't never seen it.
Oh, God.
Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. You ain't never seen a black man with a white woman speak to a black woman when he with his money. He has to overemphasize his commitment to the white girl.
Yeah. I got some homeboys straight from Jamaica, and they come down here and they don't want to see nothing, no Jamaican girls. They'll push them out the way to go meet a white girl.
Oh my goodness!
I'll be seeing it.
That's sad. That's sad. That is sad.
Business. You mentioned business with your school.
Yes, sir.
And how you do business with white people. It's business.
Yes.
You're in a community in Delaware, Wilmington, that is very selective.
This is it right here.
How
This is what he
their
talks about.
systems are.
Predominantly black city though, but you're correct.
Teachers unions. Okay. If you can't get the right teachers in there and a white teacher so happens to be overqualified and wants to join in there with you, could you do it?
Well, first of all, even though we're an independent school, the state of Delaware does not allow you to discriminate on the basis of race, right? With that being said, could we end up with a non-African staff member? Quite possibly. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's possible. Because here's the one thing we got to be very careful about. Being accused of discriminating against non-blacks with acceptance of students and hiring of our people. You feel me? Because they're going to try to hit us with that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So we could have a non-African staff. I'm not going to say they're going to be Caucasian, but the possibility is there because we have to make sure that we are heeding the law so it can't be used to shut us down.
Yeah. And that probably what went on with the HBCUs, the action that was taken, probably was.
But they got enough white people at the HBCUs though.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is like that's a hit. It's like okay, I imagine when you heard that you're like, oh, here we go.
Right. I mean, I kind of already knew it because I looked at law. Like somebody actually said, will you have non?
He has not looked at the law. So he speaks about the teachers, not being discriminated against, but yet he says that he wants a school for black boys. So the first thing he would have to do is to define black, I guess, because one instance is about your race and skin color. Another instance is about your state of mind. Mm-hmm. So would that mean, and I've had this conversation with Mr. CKB, shout out to him, who's actually a lawyer, a particular lawyer who went to law school. And he said the legal ramifications of this school opening, where you're just only accepting black boys, African-American boys, based on a skin color, would be discriminatory in and of itself. So how do you understand the idea of discrimination when it comes to the teachers, but not the students?
Mm-hmm.
Make that make sense, Mo?
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing too. I went to an all-boys school for 1 year, my first year of high school. I hated it. And I went to like the best school in the Bronx because when there's no girls around, we really don't know how to act. Like we don't know how to act. When we to our own devices, we don't know how to act. But if it's women around, we're gonna sit up. We're gonna make sure everything look nice. Like they was on our backs, but I wouldn't even want like I'm recording, son. Go the other way, right? But I wouldn't even want I just feel like that's a lot too about when he's saying you with your white woman, you don't say nothing to black women. I got friends that's married. I got coworkers that's married to white women, and they be with black women all the time, and they friends with each other. Everybody interact with everybody,
right? And it's I have white friends. I have people that I talk to. I mean, I work with them. It's of all races. It's so.
And I talk so a lot
asinine
of shit.
To sit here.
Yeah, like that's how I'm like everybody is. Great. Like I might mess with them and ask, like, did you season this when he bring it to work? I'm like, did you season this? Did you? Now I ain't talking about salt and pepper. like a big debate we had at work that I didn't realize this until I got to the military is that people don't clean their chicken. And they didn't believe it. That was we took a whole poll on it because people was like arguing us down saying you don't need to clean it. And the only people that was consistent with talking about cleaning was the Hispanics and the black people. The white people was like, oh, that's what fire's for. We like, fuck that. Like, you supposed to clean it. Clean the chicken. You just have bleach underneath your sink. Like everything. Like we was at a picnic at work and all of us would not eat that shit. We was like, don't eat that. Don't eat that. They didn't clean the chicken.
Yeah.
So that was like the biggest joke.
And this is the biggest point right here, S-Files. If he was truly committed, he could have had one of them open by now. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's more concerned about being on podcasts and making movies about himself. And then trying to sue the independent filmmaker for making the film that at the time she wrote the script, she was in support of Umar. Marianne Lorient once upon a time supported him, even gave him donations by the thousands. She said it herself. And it wasn't just a one time. And then when, of course, she got to know him, he came on the script. He invoked himself into the film because she already had an actor that was cast to play his role. He wanted to do it. She allowed him to let that happen. And then saw that he was a monster. Saw that he was a piece of shit. He was an asshole. He took over the film. Like, this is what I mean by you don't, I mean, you can see, I could, research and report on people all day, right? You have the opportunity to meet that person, face to face and interact with them. You don't get mad at Marianne Lorient for, allowing someone that she supported to be in the film that she looked up to as a part of that community of the conscious community of Pan-Africanism. She saw him as someone that had potential to do something great for the community. And when she got to know him, when she saw how he was in the interactions in the filming, she was like, this guy, he had her crying in the car. That is how frustrated she was with him. He had her crying in the car in between scenes while they were filming the movie. And then he turns around and tries to sue her for it.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's a piece of crap. He has nothing to offer. The idea that he could not look up the law goes to show, one, whoever his attorneys are, they're just as incompetent as he is. Because why would you not educate him on the law regarding, anti-discrimination? You can't have a school for all black boys. It's just not going to have,
and then
you're not going to be able to get over that hurdle with that.
He be talking about the spirits, and he's like Malcolm, and he's like Martin, but Martin wanted, like, he used people that want to integrate and then talk about he don't want integration, and that don't make sense. And then he just don't make, you could tell he didn't think none of this stuff through. It sound good. The conscious community been taking a lot of L's the last couple of years between him, Polite, Nature Boy, Young Pharaoh. I just seen Young Pharaoh, like he just popped up on my drink doing a live. I was like, I didn't even know he was still around. He be saying something. Yeah, he's still out there. He be on TikTok a lot.
Oh, okay.
But he be saying something off the wall. He got more sense than the rest of them, but he still be bugging out. So.
And that's the thing. He had more sense than Nature Boy. Like that, when we're going through the Nature Boy series and Lady Luck Club, us Lucksters, we're reviewing the series from Hood Horrors. And you get to see, between him and Nature Boy, he's way more sensible than Nature Boy in those
I think
series.
young
It's
Pharaoh,
like,
he act like somebody that got like a bad, like a dust blunt or something, and he went off like something happened to him, like he like tripped out and never came back.
wow, yeah.
Cause
And
that's what it seemed like. He's little, like you said, he's wacky. That's what it's like if he got, like if somebody gave him something bad and it didn't, his mind never came back. Cause he don't even look the same.
Yeah, he doesn't. He looks more thinner than normal, but yet Umar has been
getting fat.
He's been sounding this way for the last 6.5 years. The only difference is he's let himself go physically. He looks like slop, and now he's like he's doubling down on it, and he doesn't have people around him, near him, that is telling him what you're saying and doing is a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. You're contradicting yourself every day. Narcissists don't care about hypocrisy. They don't understand it. They don't care about it. The idea of the lying he's doing now, he's not lying to convince himself. He's lying to keep feeding that red meat to his base. He's lying to keep them in his corner, the cult base that he has, so that they can continue to send whatever money they're still sending him.
He's the worst one, though.
Influence himself. He's just lying to keep them, influenced and to keep them brainwashed. That's it. That's all he's doing it for. Otherwise, this is a show for him.
But I understand how it works, though, because he's the worst out of all of them, because even Jay Morrison, he actually got the stuff and then stole all the money. Nature Boy took them out in the middle of nowhere and made them think like all of them produced something except for him. But I could see how the scam could work, because I was looking at it like my pops was born in 1953. So that means like my great grandfathers and my great grandma, they were slaves, Yeah. Because they was born in, my grandparents is like the first generation, like outside of slavery. So you could see them wanting to they want to see this work, because they actually had to go through walking in the back of buildings, separate water fountains, the getting spitted on. So they actually experience all the stuff he's talking about. And this dude is robbing them by giving them this hope. Like when he said he takes the $10 from the poor grandmother. And I was like, damn, this woman actually had to see her mama and them couldn't vote, couldn't do this. The father's like, yes, sir, be quiet when you see white men. And you using all that to your advantage while you got your daughters running the street and your mother locked away. Like that's diabolical.
I've seen him be nasty and disrespectful to elderly men in videos. So he doesn't even he only has respect if he feels like they're bowing down and cowering to him. He doesn't show respect to his elderly like that, because he says some nasty and disgusting things, and I mean, look how he acts and throws a man baby tantrum when you say something that's truthful that he doesn't like. If you're holding him accountable, if you're asking him questions like Jamar, the interview with Jamar, he didn't care about the lady that was on the podcast as well, that old enough probably to be, an older sister. He doesn't care
Rod
about,
Diggs.
Rod Diggs. She's sitting right there on the actual interview on the podcast. He's just yelling and screaming, no respect for. He didn't say one time, we have a queen here. I don't want to raise my voice and go back and forth. This, that, and the third. She had to intervene and stop the interview. So the fact that he lacks respect for anyone that's not kissing his ass in that moment goes to show there's no discrimination when it comes to him, attacking his own. None. And for him to say, I haven't looked at the law, but I know that we won't be able to just not have a non-black person. You won't be able to have a non-black student. Like you won't be able to get around that, or else you'll be catching lawsuits all day. And we all know how he handles himself when it comes to litigation. He is an absolute failure. He has not filed a lawsuit and won.
Yeah, he wouldn't even have to segregate the school. If he'd have just put his curriculum out there, I don't see too many. I mean, I think it would still be some white kids, a white kid or two, that want to prove they're not racist. But most white people ain't going to send their kid there, hearing him talk like that. don't think no black people should send his kid there. No single mother should want to send her kid there to teach him how to be a man.
Exactly.
And look at King Randall. I was looking at King Randall's today. King Randall's actually doing stuff with them kids and teaching boys and girls how to just survive life. And like, he show you the donations. Like, hey, this is what we got. You can send us supplies directly. He don't even got furniture for the kids.
Exactly. I didn't see not one desk or chair or anything. And let's not forget, people, Umar refuses to do a full tour of the inside of either of the schools. He doesn't go into the classrooms. The last time he went to the bathrooms, cleaning toilets and stuff, he walked out the building, came back in, and you just so happen to see whatever rooms on the way in and out of the door. That's it. He didn't go into the classrooms. He goes into the principal, was supposed to be the principal office, and he was in the gym in one of the main schools because that's the only place that seems to be somewhat decent. And you can't even say that because you got black mold growing on the outside of the building. Yeah. You're going to have that stuff flowing through the schools at some point. Black mold spores are very dangerous. It could create all kinds of pulmonary infections and everything. Kids will be sick. Teachers, staff, everybody will be sick. He has no insurance on the buildings. He's not doing anything to open a school. Period. You would have a website, insurance. You would have things in place with documentation to show.
He should have insurance now.
Like any other school. Exactly. With any other school, you know, here's what we've got lined up so far. We've got insurance on the building. So, you know, if something happens, people coming in here, the vendors, the contractors who should have insurance as well will be covered. We don't want anyone to come here and get hurt or harmed or anything and not be able to cover it. Imagine if since he doesn't, him getting sued because someone came up in there. He done got Debo and them to come in and do something to the school building, and then they get injured. And now, because he has no insurance, they're going to sue his ass. Guess what? He doesn't even like accepting service. So how do you think that court hearing is going to go?
Default. And what what if somebody fall on the sidewalks out there? He should have insurance to cover that.
Exactly. And even if it goes to default, guess what? He's going to be using donation money to pay. He paid Marianne Lorient, but he used donation money. That wasn't his personal funds.
Well, he need to file taxes. As soon as he filed taxes, being that that's a nonprofit, they should get him. Yeah, they should be able to get him for misuse. And that's why he don't want to take no grants out or anything, because once he do that, if he use that money for anything else, then boom.
Yep. That's, you know, he would have to show documentation to show that the money is going. You got to show receipts. If you get vendors and invoices, you have to submit RFPs and contracts with these vendors and vendors and contractors. You have to have contracts. You have to have vendor invoices, purchase orders. You have to show where the supplies are being kept, work of summary of progress being done, or summaries of some sort of, you know, the progress of work being performed by these vendors and contractors. He's not an electrician or a plumber, so he can't do the work himself. So he has to get a vendor or a contractor. Then he would have to have the permits on file with the city. He has no active permit on file with the city of Wilmington. They're all expired. I looked at them, except one in reviewing status. The rest of them are expired. And I looked at each and every last one of them. So when he sits here and talk about people doing the research, I do. He just doesn't like the end result because he knows that it's going to show the truth. So let's get back to this last segment, you all. And that's going to be the end of this video we're watching, because he's not saying anything else about the school outside of this. So let's get back to it.
Black students at the school. I don't mind. You feel me? I don't mind. Chinese parent or Asian parent or white parent. Listen, I want my... Come on, just understand what we're teaching here. But if you're cool with it, I ain't got no problem with that.
You don't think there's power in that? If there is a Caucasian person that's willing to learn and understand your way?
I think it's power in the perception, in that if they see that I'm open to that, there may be less discrimination against my students in certain things. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? They say, okay, you got a couple white kids in there, a couple kids. Maybe he ain't what they say he is. You know what I mean?
Can't be that radical.
Exactly. And remember, the safety of the kids is our priority. You know what I mean? And so that's why we would have to consider it.
When I speak to a lot of people inside of these communities,
right,
a lot of people are so hell bent on streets, right? And I feel like that takes away their mindset takes away from the ability for us ever to unify, because it's like this is where their unity is inside of the gang culture.
I got you. I see the same thing in hip hop. I see certain persons in the hip hop community who try to section off hip hop from the rest of black culture. Right? I'm accountable to hip hop, but I'm not accountable to black people. In other words, if I'm using the N-word all in my music, Black America shouldn't say nothing, because this is a part of the hip hop code. And unless other hip hoppers see a problem with this, ain't nothing wrong with it. How in the hell can you separate yourself from the culture that gave birth to that art form? But they try to do that. Same thing what you're saying with the gang culture, right? We exist in this box. Nobody outside the box can say anything to us unless they're inside this box, even though we're destroying everything that's around us. So for me, anything in the black community that does not feel like it should be accountable to the black community should be removed from the black community. You follow what I'm saying? So if the gangs don't feel like they have to be accountable to black people, get rid of them. What? If the hip hop industry don't feel like it has to be accountable to black people, get rid of it. Anything that does not feel accountable to the black community should not be allowed inside of it.
What's your thoughts on Trump going to Chicago with ICE agents?
And that's why I'm going to stop it right there.
Yes, so, that don't even make sense.
So if the Bloods and the Crips, hear this video and they hear him say something about, oh, okay, well, they have nothing to do with the black community, get rid of them. What you think Umar gonna do if they come rolling up on his ass?
Yeah, and what do he mean by get rid of him? Like, you want us to move somewhere else, or like let's see what content it is, because how that, and then okay, wherever they move, that's gonna be the black community again. Okay, we don't agree with Pan-Africanism. Why don't you leave? Go to Africa. Right. Just go there. Go. Why don't y'all leave? I think it's more people that disagree with you than agree with you. So you go and leave.
So, and then the idea of, just to wrap the whole concept of this being an all black boys school. Okay. There are so many legal challenges to that he would not be able to overcome, because first of all, he's not well researched on anything. Umar doesn't read. Secondly, he doesn't understand the law or case law or Supreme Court rulings that speaks to why you should not be walking around here saying that basically you're going to open a school that will discriminate against any other race of children. Or, he doesn't have a problem hiring, any person outside of the black race to be teachers and students, though. I mean, he said himself that he had contractors and vendors that were white and they cost more, but they came and they got the job done, because all the black people, get this, he said in the beginning of the video, when he did talk about FDMG, all the black people were overcharging, or they took advantage, or they didn't do the job well. He said all of that. So what do you think about that? Him paying white contractors, but then dogging out the black contractors and the black vendors that either took the money and ran, they lied, they didn't do the job, they didn't get it done, but yet I'll pay the white contractors and vendors. And I'm not saying he should discriminate, but coming from Umar, who sits here and talks about promoting black community and giving black, people business, supporting black businesses, and then he turns around and says, all the black people suck ass, so I have to hire all these white people, but yet no contracts or anything to show proof of any of that. What you think about that?
I think he's full of shit. But I noticed that with him, when that situation, if you pay attention, when he was talking about the bureaucracy of Delaware, you see how bad he was talking about the black women that work there? Then he was talking, the mayor's cool though. I don't want to talk to the mayor. The mayor's cool. Let's exhaust everything. He's a white man, but the rest is all the black people that hate me. And I noticed that he always say the black people did it wrong, did this, even though he don't want to help nobody out. But how you took all our same black dollars that you telling us, you took it and handed over with a smile to white people. And then you went and advertised it to the rest of us to tell us how to make us look bad, to be like, hey, I took your black dollars and gave it to the white dude. And now, guess what? He want us to go to people's house. Remember, he wanted us to go to Leon Honor house, but yet you didn't want us to talk to the mayor of Delaware because he was like,
exactly.
You only tough with us. You only tough with the people that not gonna hurt you.
Exactly. So his whole MO is black people suck. They're not able to do the job, or they're taking advantage of me, or they tried to take money from me. They stole. We paid them and they took off and ran off with the money.
I don't believe that. Because if you got a contractor,
you would have went believe to it either, but that's his whole point.
Yeah, you'd have went to the Better Business Bureau.
How hypocritical he is. Thank you. Wouldn't you have reported that? Wouldn't you say, listen, black people, we're supposed to be sticking together. We're supposed to be supporting each other. And you all, these contractors here are the permits, because permits are required for the work that they do. Here are the permits. Here's the information here. If they don't come back and do the service and do the work, then I'm going to make sure they have to explain this in the court of law. He didn't even bring up these contractors and vendors. What are their names, Umar?
Yeah. And why he ain't going Thumbtack?
Which one are they? Exactly.
He could have went on Thumbtack, Angie's List, and they show you their license information and everything. And then I never heard that, I need electrical, but you got to do both. That don't even sound right.
Exactly. He would have sued. Thank you, Clay. He would have sued him.
Yeah.
He would have sued him. All the permits that was on file. Exactly. And would have gotten them to come back, because the pressure on those contractors and vendors would have been overwhelming, because, the Umar Tardians just can't help themselves. But they would have came back. And if it would have been something where they did something wrong, most people would have agreed that they should come back and actually get the job done and do the work. But no, he said, I paid the white contractors. They cost more. They overcharged me. But who are the contractors? We've seen the permits. Point them out. Who is who?
And certain repairs, the city has to come in and inspect after the contractor.
Yeah.
Even I changed my water heater. The
Yep.
city had to come, and it was like it took like a month before they came out. But even before they started the work, the contractors set up the appointment for the cities to come.
Yep. So I've pulled up all the permits, and with that, pulled up all the inspection reports that were on the city website, and you guys could check that out. I did a video on that last week. I only saw one inspection report, and it did not even have any details about what was inspected. One inspection report for both schools. Ever since all permits, all inspection reports have been logged into that system. And it was only one inspection report that something had been passed and completed, and did not specify what it was at all. So if he had a vendor or contractor that he was, he paid money to, and they took off and ran off with the money, I should be able to pull the permit with that vendor's name and information on it, and he should have filed the lawsuit against him. He's going to file a lawsuit against Marianne Lorient for intellectual property, but not the vendor contractor who breached a contract. If such contract be in place. See, this is what I mean by having things in place. You would have had to have a contract in place. That means that vendor or that contractor, they breached the contract.
Yep.
You would have an automatic lawsuit. That is how stupid Umar is. That's why I clown the Umar Tardians, because they just as dumb. That's how stupid he is. You would have an automatic lawsuit for a breach of contract. He can't even name the actual vendor. So, this has been yet again.
I do disagree with this comment up there. I just think because it's older people, he ain't running to the right person, because he's going to take the wrong person money. And when they catch him,
and
his security look weak, man. When that lady came up there, it's like old men and shit grabbing her.
He had security?
Yeah, they was like some old men. They look like church ushers. They was like, you was with me last night. They was grabbing her and shit. They could barely handle her. That's how I was like, I don't think Umar go places that he. Yeah, it probably was the event, but they look like some old men.
Oh yeah, he's a coward. Where he's gonna go places where he feel like he might be safe, and then he'll get a bunch of people while he's there to try to look out for him. I mean, but I mean, at this point, the last thing he needs to worry about is just some black person off the street. He needs to worry about the IRS.
Yeah.
And the feds. He needs to worry about, social services coming for him, trying to figure out why he's hiding his mother away from the rest of her family.
Oh yeah.
Or lying to them, saying that he's not there. She's not there when she is.
And Damo James, one thing too that I peeped, he talked all that stuff. He said some of our kids got what he said, they got a good put down for good. But then when Charlie Kirk died, he up there talking about, I feel sad that my people would be crying. So what, he died? You know, I didn't know him before he died, but all the stuff that he said about our women and said about black people, why do you even care about him? You shouldn't even mention him. Like, that dude was a known race baiter and also like a recruiting people over to that.
And even if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, because I didn't follow him, I didn't sit here and celebrate it, but I didn't sit here and put anyone else's, I didn't lessen the impact of anyone else's death either. They're all serious. There was a school shooting that occurred the same day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Both should have been covered with the same amount of coverage, because people lost their life. A school shooting, kids lost their lives, students lost their lives. So, you know, Umar goes out and it's like he's sound biting, you know, to get views, to get attention. But at the end of the day, he doesn't mean any of it. He doesn't care. He's not trying to open a school. None of this is serious to him. It's like the Umar Truman Show. It's just a show. That's where he is now. It's just a show, and it's obvious that he's putting on a show, because when it comes down to getting down to the documents and the evidence, you know, the proof in the pudding, there's no proof.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing he can show to even a website link, a school website link. He can't even start with that.
I try to buy it.
He can offer to show it.
I try to buy it. When I went
to buy the domain.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me do it because it still had it locked in, but nobody got it. I was gonna sell my FDM shirts on it.
Yeah. That he one of the school websites, there's a variation of websites that I've tried on live. I think I pulled up about 4 or 5. The Luxus can tell you. I pulled up about 4 or 5 different URLs. One of them goes to Lennon on his YouTube channel.
See, that's how I wanted to do. I'll buy it, redirect it.
Just playing around with the names and stuff that could possibly be the links. One of them goes to Lennon on his YouTube channel. I was like, see, that's how you do it. That's how you show and prove a point.
But the link for you to buy them books and is on his channel, on his
it's
website.
on his website. Yeah. So you guys be careful on Umar's website. Those pyramid, those contribution packages, it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, they crazy.
You know, it's so blatant and obvious. And if you don't understand what a pyramid scheme or, you know, these packages, these contribution packages are about, I encourage you all to research that information. I've gone over it. I actually, if you go to the Umar Johnson playlist on the Lady Luck Club, I actually have a video where I talked about the pyramid scheme that's on his website and pulled up the information about pyramid schemes and how, you know, these tier packages, you know, are like high yield HYIPs is what it's called. It's like a high yield investment package. And so the only difference is that he can't promise a high, you know, return on interest percentage because he's not offering a product or service, but he's still conducting that as a pyramid scheme nonetheless. And those packages are no different than those HYIPs. There's just no ROI being promised to you. You're getting nothing out of it. At the very least, with a normal pyramid scheme, you know, some sort of investment scam, you're getting like 13% every week back. You know, you're not even getting that with Umar.
You're just handing your money.
You're just giving him your money. So go over that video, you guys. And Akamo, anything else you want to add before we conclude?
Anybody know when Umar going to be doing his speaking events in New York? Please let me know. New York City. I'm not traveling all the way up there, but the city, it's enough of us there. Me and my boys will be there. I'm going to make sure I invite all the Crips and the Bloods to tell them to move out. They can't be black no more.
Yeah, Umar said y'all gotta go. You're not being beneficial to the black community.
Yeah.
Boy, that ought to be something else.
We just gonna call Harlem and the Bronx or Brooklyn something else, you know. Like, they don't even take him serious. Like that'd be our biggest joke. They be telling me, leave him alone, man. Unc out there promising snow bunnies for the rest of us.
Oh man. See?
You from 169 in Washington? I'm from 169 in Boston Road.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right down the hill.
Bronx up in
I mean,
here
they
too,
see it say Morris Senior. That's our section, but that's right down here. I used to go to the center over there, Claremont Center. That's the projects.
So if y'all know if Umar, runs his mouth and spills out a date where he's gonna be up in,
yeah, we gonna be peaceful. We just gonna harass him.
Yeah. So he's
gonna wear dashikis and everything.
Make sure y'all record everything.
Yeah.
And send me. Look, let me know when you live so I can go live as well. I'll be live.
That's why I hear you talking about gangs and stuff. I'm like, boy, you don't have. We could tell. First of all, Umar, you made it to get a PhD, right? That means you had the common sense to stay out the streets. So don't talk none of that street stuff. You shouldn't even be. You should be trying to tell people how they can get out the streets, not glorify it or act like you got any involvement in it. You know?
Exactly. And I appreciate you guys. We're hitting up 3 hours, 30 minutes. Thank you, Domo. Please send me the link. You can email me the link to that video. Umar being searched at a checkpoint during Juneteenth. Yeah, please email me that video link and I will check it out. Shout out to all of you all for tuning in. Y'all make
One
sure
Leg Dennis used to be my drop.
Was it?
Yeah, no, he named one of our guys from that dude was like a terror of the neighborhood. My boy Dennis.
And yeah, I appreciate Uncle Mo's supporters all up in here in the chat. You guys engaging in the chat. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the Lucksters in the Lady Luck Club, to all the members, the mods. Shout out to all of you all. Thank you I got 2 packages I got to open up, and I am going to break that open. And I'm so appreciative to all of you all for the support. Shout out to you, Uncle Mo.
Shout out to you. I like how you show love to everybody. I was about to say we got to do it again.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to do this again, you guys. This was fun. Umar's still an idiot.
Soul Sound. That's like my best friend, and I get on him because he used to be in the conscious community. So I always mess with him. Like every day we talk shit, and I'll be like, you was down with that stuff. Like that shit.
You
I used to go to 125th Street just to watch them argue with each other because it's like they the conscious community, but it's like 50 million of them arguing with each other.
Yeah, see stuff like that. Y'all can record that and we can check it out.
Oh yeah, them Hebrew Israelites is crazy.
I heard. Oh boy,
I want to know where they bought them stupid outfits from.
You know they getting this stuff made, child.
Yeah, they looking like Last Dragon.
Yeah, child. But I appreciate it. I got to get ready. I have to work a regular job still. Y'all know how it is. And I appreciate you guys so much. But we got to do this again. Thank you so much.
Thank
Uncle
you
Mo,
for inviting me.
No problem. And you guys have a great evening. And then to the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Hit the like button on the way out. Deuces, everybody.